Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
In fairness, what was going on at the time of this open receiver?
Well, yeah, I mean, I like to think I would not point out, oh, look at this guy on the other side of the field that's open.
You insulted him a little bit.
No, I
didn't love the way they handled the end of the first half.
See, I was fine with it. Go for points.
They didn't.
They were throwing the ball.
No.
You know, as a ball knower, I just think, I would just like to mansplain silent count.
Someone intentionally hit us with their car on the way into the game last night. Someone intentionally hit us, knocked the whole front bumper of my brother's car off. Pulled up beside him very angrily and slammed himself into the side of my brother's car.
You're kidding me.
Called 911.
That's assault.
Yeah, that's assault, brother.
Maybe he recognized you and heard you on the radio.
This
This was another PU listener who doesn't like to show that one.
It wasn't Andy Hart, was it?
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Wednesday here at Gillette Stadium. It's our official Turn the Page day, where we go from reviewing last Sunday's game to talking about this upcoming game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another good test, I think, for the team.
Yeah.
Buccaneers are, one of the better teams in the league. I wouldn't say the best, top echelon, but they're a good competitive team, winning record. Some good matchups that should challenge the Patriots. So I think a good opportunity, particularly for the defense in this game. And we'll talk about that. We'll have Mike Vrabel with his live press conference. I think that's at 12:55. Is
It's
that correct?
1 o'clock.
5 minutes. You need that 5 minutes.
Yeah, well,
today.
you never know.
Military time here.
I
We're on
guess
very
maybe
tight,
something going on.
tight schedule.
So what are they doing now?
1 o'clock.
They're
What's
acclimating all the acquisitions they made.
Oh, wow. Brendan
Paulie,
Rice.
are you one of the?
I am not.
Are you one
I
of
am
the
not.
Madden fantasy?
Oh, definitely not one
Junior
of those.
GM fantasy
We're
boys that are
finger-wagging.
upset about
We're
no
finger-wagging.
moves yesterday?
No. I mean, I was a little surprised. I said on the show that I felt like they would probably make a move, but I wasn't expecting anything really big. I'm not overly surprised that they didn't do anything big. I'm a little surprised they didn't add some depth.
I think they probably tried in a couple instances.
I think that's probably.
But here's the
accurate.
thing: the teams out there aren't willing to help the Patriots become good again.
That's right.
They're
They're wary
us.
of it.
They're not.
No.
Nobody wants to be that team that helped us
Right.
become good again.
Yeah.
Well,
Correct.
certainly not the Jets. Like the Jets,
the
I
Titans.
think that's the thing. And I said
Or the
this-
Titans.
I said this on Catch 22. I was dead wrong about there being no big trades.
Yeah.
I'll take that one on the chin. Dead wrong. But it happens to be that it was a division rival that made all the big trades. So, the Jets were not going to trade Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner to the Patriots. Even if the Patriots would have paid the price, they're at least going to charge a division tax. So it's going to be even more than what was given up for those guys. So that was a little bit unlucky that the splashes that happened were teams that were not probably going to deal with.
We'll talk about that. It's Evan, it's Paul, it's me, it's Deuce, it's Alex in the booth, and let's get into that. Do you think the Jets are winners yesterday, or
Ish.
yeah?
They're winner-ish.
Tell me why ish.
Look, I'm having a hard time just completely embracing everything they did because they're completely tearing it down again.
Right.
I think the Quinnen Williams trade specifically was a home run for the Jets. I love Quinnen Williams. I think he's a terrific player, and he's still I think he's 27, 28.
Yep.
He's still fairly young, but that's a good return for a defensive tackle.
At 27.
That's a first and a second. That's a good return. The Sauce trade, I like for the Jets, but I also like it for the Colts. But you look at it, they're going to end up with 2 firsts and 2 seconds in this upcoming draft. They'll have multiple firsts in the 27 draft as well. Not bad. You still have a couple of glaring holes. 1, quarterback, and 2, you got to hit those picks. And I just look at one of the things that would kind of surprise you is how well they've drafted.
Talent-wise, yeah.
They just had their top 4. Everybody says, they're going to try to do what Detroit did. And Evan has talked about this a lot, Evan and I. Detroit, basically, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. 2 1s, 2 2s in the same draft. 4 for 4, knocked them out of the park. Jets did the same thing in 22. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, and Breece Hall with their top 4 picks. And they suck. Because why?
They don't have a quarterback.
So
That's why I give them some credit for what they did, because they recognized that their current core, and without having a quarterback, they weren't going to win any games. So now they have this whole stockpile of picks to maneuver to get the quarterback. So I think the biggest thing that I have, and I'm not necessarily just talking about the draft, like they could use those picks to trade for a quarterback too. You know, a veteran, established quarterback. Like the Jets to me have been overrated for like 3 years now. Everybody keeps telling me how great their roster is, and then the end of the season they're picking in the top 10 every single year. So it's like at some point we can say that Sauce is a great player, we can say Quinnen Williams is a great player. They don't win any games. So like
this is true.
If you're not going to win it, and I get it, everybody blames the quarterback, but you know, Aaron Rodgers gets hurt in his first year with the Jets. He played last year, and he looks pretty good in Pittsburgh right now. So, like, you know, well, they're winning. Like, they have a winning record.
And they're scoring points.
And they're going to go to the playoffs.
They're winning-ish.
I think he's doing okay. As much as I don't want him to, I have to be honest and say he's doing fine.
I just think at some point, if you're the Jets, like, and I think this is basically what they told you, like, this roster was a little bit overrated. Like, these players were a little bit overrated. We've now had our chance to work with them, and we kind of see that. And so they're hitting the reset button, and I give them credit. Like, I give them credit for recognizing that and, you know, going in a different direction. And now they, to Paul's point, like, they got to hit on the picks.
Yeah, I think for the winners for this season are the Patriots. We got to play them twice. And if you're one of the left behinds on that team, do you even care about the rest of the season?
Oh boy, maybe not. I mean, but you know, maybe the Colts too.
I don't think they care any less today than they did yesterday. Let's put it that way.
But I think that's
If I'm
part of it.
Breece
I mean,
Hall,
they're 1-7.
Why couldn't you have traded me?
I think Evan just hit the nail on the head. They have these good players, and they weren't winning any games. They're not winning players.
Part of it to me is the culture too, and it's kind of brought some of those guys down. And you know, like Sauce Gardner comes in with so much potential, and you feel like a lot of these guys are kind of infected with losing right now. And I think we saw it happen around here a little bit too. I think that's part of the move as well. You know, for Indianapolis though, I think it's a really good move. I mean, they've built their team through the draft. Daniel Jones looks good right now. You know, it wasn't going to happen this year for a quarterback anyway. They've won too many games already. They're not going to be in position to, you know, be in a top 10 this year. So I think for me, it's really about 2027.
Are they saying that Daniel Jones is the guy?
Yeah, I mean, you're
at least
basically
for the next
saying
year
for the
or
next,
two.
for the next 2 years. I mean, you're not going to have a first round pick for the next 2 years. So,
And Mike's point was they weren't going to be if they held on to that draft pick, they weren't going to be in position to get a quarterback this year, most likely.
Yeah.
Right. Because of their record.
Because their record's too good. They're going to be picking in the bottom half of the
it's
round.
already lost for this year.
Bottom third, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's on Daniel Jones now. But I mean, give the Colts credit for how they've built their team through the draft. I mean, they've had a really good offensive line for a long time. Jonathan Taylor is back to that MVP type form that we saw back in 21.
3 good homegrown receivers.
I mean, it's you know, they're ready to go. So it's all on. You know, I'm flashing back to some of the in-season Hard Knocks last year with the Giants, where you heard them Joe Shane having these conversations about, like, you know, do we put guys around Daniel Jones to find out what he's got, and you know, and then it was all around getting rid of Saquon and all those decisions, and now you feel like the Colts think they've struck gold.
If you're the Jets, are you thinking draft with kind of so far a weak quarterback draft, or are you thinking bundle this, go to Cincinnati, give them a boatload, and bring Joe Cool to the Big Apple?
I don't know about Joe Burrow, but that's what I think they're going to do.
Well, everything should be on the table, right?
I think they're trading for a veteran quarterback because I don't think they're going to do Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson 3.0. Like, I don't think that Woody Johnson's going to be in love with that idea of just suck and draft the next good, you know, number 1 overall pick quarterback. And Aaron Glenn was just in Detroit with Jared Goff, who they traded for, and it worked out. So my guess is you know, we were actually kicking around some
Let's
names.
kick that around. I'm really interested in this.
So, like, realistically, not Joe Burrow. We did mention Trevor Lawrence. Like, if you want to, like,
That's a good one.
but those ones are kind of unrealistic to me.
You think
Kyler
so?
Murray.
Yeah. So Kyler is definitely in play.
Do it, please. Please do it.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy and Trevor Lawrence, I could see. Kyler Murray is, I think, close to
The other
close
one
to being done.
that Bart threw out that I said that Dolphins would not do this, but Tua, you know.
Do it.
But
I shouldn't say anything because the Patriots haven't had good luck with him, but go ahead and do that.
Oh, Mike
But
Vrabel.
pie in the sky would be like some. I think Burrow is
Yeah.
not.
See, but
no,
those kinds of
Trevor
things
Lawrence
wouldn't
maybe.
cost you this kind of capital.
Oh, not everything. Yeah.
You know, like
Oh, yeah.
Tua is not costing you.
It would cost you 2 first-round picks.
That I wouldn't make the trade.
For
That's
Tua?
dumb.
Tua.
I think that's what
2 first-round picks for Tua.
I think that's what Miami would want.
I
Well,
think
then he's going to stay on Miami.
he's not gonna. You're not. They're not gonna trade for Tua in the division. I don't think Miami would trade him in the division. But I think Purdy. If they decide that he's really expensive and Mac Jones is kind of just the same thing,
Yeah, Purdy makes a little sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
He ain't getting 2 1s from Purdy.
no. But you have all this extra capital that if you do have to trade any 1-1 or a 1 and a 2 or whatever the case may be, you don't feel like you're trading away your whole draft class to
Right.
make it
No,
happen.
no, they can afford it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was immediately thinking when you said that, because I hadn't really given much thought to a veteran quarterback. I was immediately thinking the Detroit model with
Right.
Stafford, and it would be just like the Jets to say, well, we'll trade for Matthew Stafford, and he'll be done next year. Like he's having a great year this
Yeah.
year. He had all those back problems heading in. I still think that Sean McVay is probably holding his breath every game.
Looks like it,
you know?
honestly. Like it kind of looks frail out
He's
there.
played so well. Though. This
Yeah.
might be his best year.
Yeah.
But he, let's face it, he's a hit away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be just like the Jets. Like,
Right.
we'll trade you a first round pick for,
40-year-old
one more year of Matthew Stafford, and he won't make it through the year.
That's why, I feel like, and I said this too, it's the Jets, so they'll find a way to mess it up. Like we all know that.
Sure seems like it.
They'll find a way.
Well, that's the other thing. Is Aaron Glenn a good
I was
head
just gonna
coach?
say, where does this put Aaron Glenn?
but
That's what I wanna-
if you're the Jets, I feel like splitting it right down the middle of we're not going to go back in the draft because we've done that before, and we're not going to do the Stafford thing because we did that with Rodgers and that
Right.
didn't work.
That's why you got to be.
So-
You have good ones.
So I'm going to
Lawrence
trade
and Purdy are good.
I'm going to
guys.
trade
Those
for
are
like
good.
a 28-year-old veteran quarterback. That's
Yeah.
right in the middle of those two things. We'll see.
All right, so that's the trade thing. And again, I think the Patriots were in on some people, but
Yeah, that's what-
teams don't want to help New
You
England.
hearing
Yeah,
anything?
Giardi.
Freddie?
Well, Giardi said they were in on Phillips. Giardi tweeted that
Yeah.
this morning that they were.
They
in
were.
on that one.
They were. There was a guy that got traded from the Titans.
Vermont Jones.
That we were told
Yep.
we're not trading him, and then they traded him.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
the rumors are that the ownership just doesn't like Vrabel and didn't want to help him.
So that makes
Fair enough.
a little. I mean, I think it's dumb to operate like
Sure.
that. It's business. It shouldn't be personal. But I mean, I understand with the Jets, the Titans. I don't understand the whole division thing. I really don't. Now, those particular moves that the Jets made, as Evan said, the Patriots are not looking to acquire Sauce Gardner. Forget about the compensation. They already have a great corner that they're going to have to pay. That.
Right.
That didn't make a lot of sense.
No.
But if Breece Hall was really on the block and they wanted a third-round pick, and the Patriots were willing to give a third-round pick, and they said no because of the division, that's just dumb. That's just bad business.
Yeah.
Belichick never would have done that.
I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I
course he
wouldn't
did
give
it
a
for
third-round
Garoppolo.
pick for Breece Hall." I think I would.
Well, nobody
I
else
think
would.
I would.
I'm not telling you I would have
Nobody
or I
did.
wouldn't have. I'm
Yeah.
saying if you
If
wanted
he-
a third-round pick and the Patriots offered and you
Right.
said no because they were in the division, that's stupid.
Yeah.
If somebody offered the Jets a third-round pick for Breece Hall, he wouldn't be a Jet.
And
Well, that's what they wanted.
Right, and
Yeah.
nobody offered it.
And no one, yeah.
Kansas
I
City,
know what you're saying. Yeah.
Kansas City
what the
offered a
league thinks
fourth,
of
it
him.
sounds like. Like, that's as high as anybody would go. So,
see,
nobody wanted it.
I would love to know if we did offer at least a fourth or a third, because, like Paul said, it's kind of weird that they wouldn't take that if we were the only ones offering a third.
Yeah. Yeah.
But listen, they wouldn't be the only team that kind of has that rule about not helping a team in the division.
Oh, yeah.
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 I get what
It's
Paul's
definitely
saying, but-
different with quarterback. Like trading, Barr's thing of trading
I mean,
Tua,
we
like,
famously
that's-
traded Bledsoe to the Bills.
Yeah, but he was
but
on his last leg at that point.
He
really
had good.
wasn't.
No, he was still productive. The first year he was a Pro Bowler.
right,
Careful.
he was.
No.
1 year
He
left. like-
played 5 more years. Like
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
the best deal was a first-round pick. Belichick wisely said, he's not going to be better than the guy. I have a guy that I think is better than him. I'm taking the best deal.
Yeah.
Who cares what team is on? Like, I think my guy's better. So I'm not afraid of him coming back to haunt me.
Yeah.
That was smart business. Now, I wish he kept doing that with like Garoppolo and stuff like that later on, and instead of worrying about putting this guy in a good spot,
Right.
punishing that guy because he didn't take my contract and sending him to Siberia for less. But that deal, Bill maximized. I don't think anybody else was given a first-round pick for Bledsoe.
Right. I don't know. I didn't hear.
I think
anything.
that was a good trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff yesterday. It was a blockbuster move.
It was, but I mean,
Two huge ones for the
Yeah.
Jets.
it's just for me. It highlights the Patriots, depth that they're going to have to go through the last 2 months of this season, hoping that Harold Landry,
Deuce.
Caleb on Chason,
We all we got.
we all we need.
That's right.
We'll see if it's all we need. But I think it just illustrates some of the depth issues that we've talked about since training camp. And I think I said after week 1, once you got to look at this team under live fire, that there are going to be some spots that are turned over next year, and there's some place filler holders this year. I'm just surprised because I thought the directions we're pointing to, you just need a body right now. They've got a bunch of these new running backs that they bought into Ernest Johnson, but that's who they're going to ride with. And, there might be a point this season where you're saying, Elijah Ponder, it's go time at, starting defensive end. Here you go.
I wonder if they're thinking that way.
Yeah.
We've given a lot of rookies playing time. I wonder if they're like, Elijah Ponder.
It happens. We roll with the young
Swinson
guys.
on the practice squad.
Yep.
Maybe one of these guys is going to have a bigger role.
Yep.
In the second half. I don't know.
I commend them for it because
Come to them for what exactly?
for sticking to their plan.
Okay.
Because I think that we all can objectively look at the situation that's unfolded here and recognize that they are kind of hitting, lightning in the bottle right now with this season where everything kind of went their way.
Yeah.
Like
Injuries.
they have no major injuries. Drake may hit and is an MVP candidate. Their schedule is easy. And I think it would have been easy to do what the Commanders did and
And have the second most cap space in football.
start, going all in on a season where, Deuce is talking about the depth on the roster. They're probably still an offseason away from having really what they want in terms of the depth on the roster. And if you start trading away draft picks and stuff like that for rentals, then those are your opportunities to accumulate that depth. And I think that they looked at it objectively and were like, are we really this good?
But you mentioned rentals, but there was also a path to getting people who aren't rentals.
It wasn't.
It wasn't just rentals that.
Yeah, it was Jalen Phillips, Rashid Shaheed.
Well, I don't think I'm not saying that the Patriots were interested, but Sauce Gardner's on a rental. Quinnen Williams isn't a rental.
Right, but we just went over.
What I'm saying is, maybe there were people that you could have pursued that aren't rentals. I don't think they should have gotten rentals either.
Is there a chance that you could have blown somebody out of the water with 2 first-round picks for a star player?
Right.
Sure, but I just wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that
But
either.
Trey
So-
Hendrickson,
Well, he didn't get traded.
no, he didn't get traded, but I don't know what the offers were, but if you get him, you're not thinking he's a rental. You've got a handshake deal to give him a contract.
Yeah, I hear you, but he's 31. I think the biggest thing to me is you're trying to build something sustainable here. You don't want to just be a one-hit wonder where you have 1 year where you play an easy schedule and you win 12 games.
Let's say the Jets were willing to give us Breece Hall for a third. Would you have done that?
What's Ramondre Stevenson's toe? Does he have a little stub or does he have turf toe? What's the situation?
It doesn't matter to me. But
Well, I think it matters.
yeah.
If Ramondre is going to be fine.
But you still only really have 2 frontline running backs, and you're an injury away of being back in that same situation.
But Breece Hall is not coming here as injury insurance. He's coming here to replace Ramondre.
Sure.
So now Ramondre is going to be riding the bench. Now, if I'm being told that Ramondre is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, then that's a different story.
Well, you say riding the bench. You wrote, right now, Henderson doesn't ride the bench.
But Henderson's playing a third down back role. Breece Hall, you're acquiring him to be the lead back, which is what Ramondre is doing right now.
Yeah.
So if you acquire Breece Hall, Ramondre is going to play significantly less.
Yeah.
If that's what you're doing. So again, if he's hurt and he's out for an extended period of time, then that changes things.
Do you think he's an upgrade?
Breece Hall?
Yeah.
He's definitely more dynamic.
Do you think he's an upgrade?
He's different. No.
Wow. Okay.
I do.
I disagree.
But
Yeah.
Like an upgrade, like it's a running back. Like it's
That's why I'm not
like you know, it's
losing
not,
any sleep over it.
it's not Christian McCaffrey. Like I think he's an upgrade in the sense that he's a more explosive player than Ramondre. Definitely a more explosive pass catcher and can, make bigger plays happen with the ball in his hands. But is it a needle movie? Like, is there you trading for
No, I look at it this way.
McCaffrey, Saquon, Bijan? Like,
I know this could never happen, but if there was a draft and there was a 24-year-old Breece Hall who I knew about what he could do in the NFL, I would take him for a third-round pick.
yeah,
I would too.
nobody else would. Like, it's not just the Patriots. Like, no one else offered them a third-round pick. So he's still a Jet.
Yeah.
Like, I think that again, like it's lined up nicely for them this season, and Drake May's play has led to a lot of that. But Drake May broke out. The schedule is easy. Like they're taking advantage of all of those things, and I mean, I don't mean to like look ahead, but have you looked at their schedule next year?
That's just what I was pulling up right now.
Their schedule next year is going to be the total opposite of this year. They have like a murderer's row of road games next year.
Yep.
So like
Lions, Chiefs, Chargers. I mean, Bills, obviously. We'll see what AFC South and NFC West, but Packers here, Broncos here, Vikings here, AFC North team here. It's a tough schedule. It's going to be. I mean, it's
all the more reason why I would have been more aggressive.
But I want them.
Shot.
I want them to be aggressive in the offseason. Like because I want them to keep building talent on the roster.
Now, if that happens, then I would say I'd rather you be aggressive in the offseason than do something at the trade deadline.
Right.
I would agree with you.
Because
I don't think that will happen.
There's more of a pool in the offseason of guys available,
Total
and free
agreement.
agents, and all that kind of stuff. So if you go out and
it only costs you money instead of draft picks and money.
Yeah.
And if
so
you go
I would
out
totally
and
rather do it that way.
shoot your gun in the trade deadline because you're just going all in on this season.
You can do both.
I just think that the way this has been, like I said at the very beginning, I'm not disappointed necessarily that they didn't do anything. I'm not here to tell you like they dropped the ball. I'm not doing that because I don't think they dropped the ball. I don't think there was a lot of opportunity for them to do anything of any significance. I'm a little surprised they didn't add a depth piece or two.
Yeah,
that's it.
Me too.
But the way it's being portrayed is they had two choices: either forfeit the future for the gratification now, or stick to the plan. And I just don't think trading a day 3 pick for an edge rush depth piece is forfeiting the future. Sure. Or trading, for Jerome Ford or Tony Pollard or whoever. If Breece Hall was too expensive, one of those other backs, Jerome Ford may not. I don't think that would have forfeited the future.
Yeah.
I think you still stick to your plan to do Evan's thing, which I agree with Evan. 95% of what he said, I agree with. You don't want to do anything to disrupt. I wouldn't even think of giving a first-round pick for someone who may or may not be here next year. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I wouldn't do that either.
But I have 4 6th-round picks. I can't get something for some of those?
Yeah, I think the question there, and because I agree with you. You there's a happy medium here of like not mortgaging the future, but also investing in this team. I think the question is we can just use Jermon Jones for an example. Is Jermon Jones a much better player than Anthony Jennings? Because Anthony Jennings right now is your third guy.
Yeah.
So like Jermon Jones is going to come in and he's going to be your third pass rusher. He's a better pass rusher than Anthony Jennings. But Anthony Jennings is probably a better run defender. And like, so do you is it that much of an upgrade? And I think that one of the things that they looked at with this deadline was the vibes in this locker room are immaculate at the moment.
Yep.
So if you
I do think that was a factor.
If you are only going to make a marginal upgrade, but it's going to upset the hierarchy of the depth chart in a specific room. For example, like if you go out and trade for Rashid Shaheed, now Pop Douglas is going to have it's the same role. So Pop Douglas is now out of a job. And we've all talked about how great that wide receiver room has been and how much they've turned it around on and off the field. And now you go ahead and you start shaking things up. Is it worth it in the short term for maybe a guy that's a little bit better than Anthony Jennings or someone that's a little bit better than Terrell Jennings at running back or, whatever the case may be? I think that was a big part of it too.
Yeah, I hear your point, Paul, for sure. I'd almost, in terms of like trying to make a little bit of a run, and I kind of said this a little bit yesterday about protecting Drake, but I think it's much about is there a spot where a key injury could cause this season to devolve a little bit and lose some of the energy that you have? And to me, protecting against that, where a key injury may be at defensive end or running back, like it's not necessarily a guy like, Tony Pollard who's going to put you over the edge and now we can go to Kansas City and win or whatever it might be in the playoffs. But it's more about
no, I'm totally with you.
If Ramondre is a long-term situation, is the run game going to totally devolve and that Drake May's season's now going to fall apart because teams are just going to teeing off on him? And now we end this season feeling like Drake got the crap beat out of him. We didn't have a running game. That's what I want to avoid. But not mortgaging the future, but protecting the present.
And I like Evan's point, and I do think that was a big part of their rationale going in, was they wanted to make sure that they didn't do anything that was going to, significantly upset what's going on right now. Because I think a big part of their success is like, what is like the whole is greater than the sum of the parts? Is that the cliche?
Buy-in.
This is what I think that's what this is. If you just go player for player, it's okay.
Yeah.
But they're playing much better than that. And I think part of the reason for that is all of the celebration, all of the culture, all of the buy-in that you see.
The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
That's what I said.
That's what he said.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that was right.
I didn't try to say that.
And if you go and you start trading for marginal upgrades,
I didn't know.
Yeah,
and it's not, we're not talking about trading for Sauce Gardner or talking about trading.
I just
for
think
star
those
players.
kinds of things don't, like, if that Draymond, and I don't know a lot about Draymond Jones, to be honest with you. If he's a little bit better than Anthony Jennings, I don't think that upsets the apple cart. You already tried to basically give away Anthony Jennings. I don't think that's an apple cart disrupting move.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed could be an example of what Evan's talking about. Like, he might knock somebody out of a role who's been playing a lot and has embraced that role. That could be something that causes you. Now, I'm not telling you I wouldn't do it if I thought that made sense and that I thought that made me better. But I do think Vrabel, Stretch, Elliott Wolf, Ryan Cowden, I think these were factors, I think, in some of these potential moves.
Yeah, like Anthony Jennings might not, like, it would more be like if they had traded for Jalen Phillips and now Chason is out of a starting
Correct.
job.
That's different.
And Chason's been playing really well for them for like about a month now.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you're a situational pass rusher on third down only because we just traded a third-round pick for Jalen Phillips. Like, that was probably a better example than Jennings and depth pieces and stuff like that. But I mean, we're in the locker room. Like, the vibes in the locker room are just, it's a total 180 from what it's been here the last 2 years. And I give all that credit to Vrabel.
Me too.
And so he has completely changed the energy. Like, you can just see it in all the content that we put out, after games and stuff like that. The way that these players are rallying like around him, and
they're winning.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
But I think that element has been more important and more impressive than any X's and O's thing that coaching staff has done. And I'm not telling you the coaching staff hasn't done a good job. I'm just saying the buy-in that they immediately got from that group. And I think they had some buy-in from Gerard Mayo last year initially, and then they didn't win, to your point.
Right. And then
so you lose the buy-in.
Right.
Yep.
So you're right. Like, you establish this, and then you immediately show them, oh, wait, it's working.
Right.
We are
trust
winning.
the process. You know?
But even at 1 and 2, like after the Steelers game, I
go to Miami.
You could tell, and it was just kind of like, well, we turned the ball over 5 times. And if we don't turn the ball over 5 times, we would have won this game in a blowout.
You know what's fun? This is apropos of nothing, as they say. Matt Smith likes to say apropos of nothing. The Colts went to Pittsburgh and turned it over 6 times, and their season's over now. It was the defining moment that turned the Patriots season around. Oh, they were actually better than Pittsburgh. They should have won the game. They beat themselves. But, the Colts, they're done now. I don't know what they're doing with the Sauce Gardner
That's why
trade.
they had to get Sauce.
I mean,
Everybody
I'm
was
fascinated
killing them
to
for
see
that Sauce Gardner trade. And I was like, I don't know.
I mean, if it would be kind of funny though, if all of a sudden Daniel Jones to start looking like the Daniel Jones that we came to know, and they're like, oh, well.
That's what I'm fascinated to see. Because
that's a fear.
Yeah.
That kind of happened with Darnold. It took a while.
It took to week 17, but it happened.
To the end.
Yeah,
Right.
but then at the end there, and they're kind of this year's Minnesota.
Yeah.
And like, it's going to be interesting to see if Daniel Jones can sustain.
All right, I want to transition over to Tampa Bay, but first, public service announcement. Jay, who's the president of the Tampa Bay New England Patriots fan club, sends in a quick reminder to all listeners out there, especially those who will be in Tampa over the weekend, that we are hosting the largest Patriots road rally of the season this Saturday, November 8th from 5 to 7 at Sunset Rodeo, which is located at 302 South Howard Avenue. We'll have appearances by members of the cheerleading team of the Patriots, Pat Patriot, Lawrence Guy. Hopefully Fred and Evan will make it out as well, he says. We'll have a bunch of autograph items that we'll be raffling off for charity. They're expecting a huge crowd, so they're telling people to make sure they get there early so they don't miss out. So again, that's at the Sunset Rodeo, 302 South Howard Avenue from 5 to 7 this Saturday. So it's going to be a big, big rally. So check it out, Patriots fans who are in Tampa.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be huge Patriots fan contingent down there this week. Yeah. So
I mean, it was big in Nashville too, but this one's going to be really, really.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be interesting because like the Titans stink. So like taking over an opponent's stadium when the team is 1-6 or whatever it was, Tennessee was, is one thing, but taking over an opponent's stadium when the team is a playoff team that you're going to that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if that happens very often when you're going to a 6-2 team's home game and it's half Patriots fans.
Right.
We need like some muskets to answer the cannon shots from the ship.
Let's have a battle.
Oh, that's gonna scare the crap out of me. I know it. I'm gonna be like typing.
Well, hopefully you don't hear it all.
I would like that.
Okay, so let's talk about the Buccaneers.
Yeah, let's start with their injuries. I think that's because today we just got a report that they didn't get a lot of guys back. I mean, Chris Godwin is not out there and Bucky Irving. Those are the two guys that we kind of start with. So, they got to get healthy, but I guess Baker Mayfield is top of the list, and he's just a really good player. I mean, I'm so amazed by, we talk about when we saw him, we had Mary Kay Cabot on when the Browns were here, and we had her on back in 21 when Mayfield was here, and I was like, I saw him that time in person and was like, this guy's done. He's injured, we find out. Then we saw him with Carolina a little bit when he was like battling Darnold here, which again is just so crazy to me that you have.
That's like the funniest factoid is that the Carolina Panthers had Darnold and Mayfield on the roster. Neither one of them could get on the field, and now they're both like lighting it up.
Crazy, but great turnaround for him. I mean, I love these stories in the NFL when a player you rule for dead comes back, and Sam Darnold being at the forefront as well, but. Mayfield, to me, it just seems like he's so good late in the down, and his ability to scramble or his ability to make throws on the run and keeping him contained and being able to, finish him off in the pocket, I think is just a huge key this week. But, Ibuka looks really good. I mean, Rashad White is no slouch at running back. So they've got some pieces. Kate Otten's big tight end, made some catches for them. We'll see some of the ancillary receivers if they're able to, contribute, but it's a good team. They're a good team.
Without Godwin, are they a different team?
Well, it's without Godwin, Evans, and Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
So I think
McMillan. I mean, they're on there like 4th, 5th, 6th receiver, and they're still okay.
I forgot about McMillan too. Baker's awesome. Like Baker's great. Yeah. Great arm talent. Really strong arm. Vertical passer. Just great, like fearless scrambler. One of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the league. He's great, but he got no help right now. I mean, their skill positions are completely banged up. Even Ekbuka's been kind of like
He's
and out
been banged up
a little bit. But right now they're rolling with Ekbuka, Tez Johnson, and Sterling Shepard as their three receivers. So that's not Evans, Godwin, and Ekbuka. This is not what they were at the beginning of the season when Baker was in MVP discussions and stuff like that. That group is, last 2 weeks it's been a little bit tougher. So I do think this is another week where man coverage matchups like Gonzalez on Ekbuka, like you feel pretty good that you can at least stand in the middle of the ring with it. I'm with Deuce, late in the down, scrambles, that kind of stuff is probably what is going to ultimately beat you if you get beat in this game, because Baker he's fearless. Like he will run people over,
Yeah.
What do they have on defense that could pose problems?
Everything.
Yeah.
Their defense scares me more than their offense.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Bowles runs one of the most blitz-heavy schemes in the league, always has. He comes after quarterbacks. Great secondary. Antoine Winfield Jr. is one of the best safeties in the league. Jamal Dean's playing a really high level. I was a big fan of Jacob Parrish in the draft slot corner, playing a good, having a good rookie season. Vita Vea. That guy is as good as any interior defensive tackle that they're going to face all year. This is, as they've faced 3 really good defenses in a row. I know there's a lot of talk about the schedule and all that, but this is Browns, Falcons, Bucks is 3 legitimate defenses that they've faced in a row. So this is going to be another tough test for Drake.
Headline for Drake. I mean, that's a really good opportunity for him to get back on track against a good defense. I mean, I say good opportunity. I think it's going to be a tough challenge down there. But I'd love to see Drake be able to bounce back and get away from what, Evan was talking about yesterday with the 1 and run. Like, can he hang in there? Can he, manage the blitz, manage what's coming, understand what's coming, know where to go with the ball? So it's going to be a really good test for him on the road against a really good defense.
Yeah, they run a lot of crazy pressures, and they'll show pressure from one place and they'll bring it from another, and they really don't have any coverage tendencies. Like, they kind of,
I know, that's
they
what's so
spin
weird.
the dial like crazy in
middle
the
of
back
the packet,
end,
like everything, every
Yeah.
coverage, man zone splits, everything. It's hard to really get a statistical beat on what they do.
Yeah, it's a really good defense.
What's the early line?
2.5, I think.
2.5.
Bucks are favored.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was Monday. I haven't looked the last couple days.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's moved.
So a lot of the houses have been calling me, telling me that the getting
minus
3
2.5.
at home has been changed. Travel is better now these days, and it's not
Is
so
it?
much a burden for teams, even ones coming. So they're telling me to tout, more like 2 points, sometimes 1.5 for the home team.
Oh, it's changing.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it looks like with the Bucks, if they were healthy on offense, then I think that they would be more prohibitive favorites in this game.
Yeah.
But without Evans and Godwin and Bucky Irving, it's just not the same group that they had in the first month of the season. So they, first 6 weeks, he's averaging like 27, 28 points a game.
Yet they're still favored by a little. So is that disrespect to the Patriots?
I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah. Oh, they hate us.
That's fair.
It's still 2.5 according to
I'm
DraftKings.
going to allow this disrespect. Yeah.
We just mentioned Bucky Irving
I
because
actually
he's still
think
one of my
it's very
all-time
respectful to the Patriots.
hilarious just scouting experiences of like watching Bucky Irving a couple years ago and be like, oh, he was good, he's explosive, and then we get to the combine and what did he run, like a 4.8
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like crazy
yeah.
like that?
Yeah, he is definitely this was already starting to go this way with running backs, but the 40-yard dash for the running backs, a lot of people are starting to just throw out as a
Those are people just like,
gauge of anything.
nope, can't play.
He was one of those. Kyron Williams was another one that ran a really slow 40 time. Is an awesome NFL player. So both those guys have been really good. Like Rashad White's a good pass catching back. He's kind of a good
He's a good player.
good out of the backfield type of player, but he's not Bucky Irving.
He doesn't give you the home run potential.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean,
The line has now changed to Tampa -3.
Oh,
well within seconds.
Within seconds.
literally just.
I think it was us.
It's us talking
Yeah.
about it. We
I
just
think it
moved
was
the
you.
line.
It
Wow.
was you
Line.
and
Well,
your ilk.
But what do you think about that? Is that just a money thing?
I still don't
They're trying
understand
to
how
get
it all
mo-
works.
You're trying to get New England money coming in?
I think you've confused me on such an epic scale, Fred, that I just have no idea what it means anymore when a line
Well,
moves.
if it goes from 2.5 to
Here we go.
if it goes from 2.5 to 3, the houses are saying we need more New England money.
Sure.
Well, it is weird because
Okay.
the reports are that they're getting nobody back.
right.
So
And
you
the
would
line's
think
still
that
moving.
would move
So
it.
it's weird.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I mean, they
This is what
might
I'm
get
saying.
Godecky back, but he's going to come back off injured reserve, and he hasn't practiced or played in a month.
He might be still a week away anyway.
Yeah,
when he started
right.
practicing.
So I don't know, but they're not getting any of their skill players back. It doesn't sound like so. Like I said, I assuming that Gonzo's okay, which he said he was after the game, but assuming that he's okay, if you put him on Igbuka, I kind of like how they match up. I don't really know where else he's gonna go.
Marcus Montez Johnson.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
got some speed on speed there.
Yeah, I mean maybe Cade Otton gives him some problems, but he's not an explosive tight end.
big
He's
guy.
a chain moving tight end.
Yeah.
So would you be taking the under on this game?
I don't know if I'm confident enough
yeah,
in the
I don't know what the
Patriots
number is.
to
so I
take an
don't know.
under.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good
You
good
got the
question.
number there, Paul?
I'll look it up.
Okay. You
'Cause-
seem annoyed at this talk, this line.
Well,
of-
I'm just the whole disrespect thing.
Oh, I got him. I got him going.
You didn't know? Yeah. I don't
No,
know.
even if you're saying it for the Bucks,
Yeah.
just a spread is a spread.
What do you mean a
Well,
spread?
why do spreads have to mean something?
They always mean something.
Yeah, they mean they're trying to get the betting to be even.
Right.
That's what all it
Sometimes
means.
that's what it means, right? But it means something. So if you go from 2.5 to 3, it means that money
Yeah.
is
Right.
You know,
Right. Does it mean something or does it matter?
Or sometimes news comes out that, a player's not
Sure.
coming back that
Oh,
thought what might.
that's amazing. I literally just did the same thing, clicked on the same link, and it is now
Wow,
3.
Just like that.
48.5. I would take the under.
I'd take the
That's
under there.
that's
too.
a lot. Yeah.
48.5 is the number.
Because Tampa's not really scoring like crazy either. It was 23-3 against
Yeah,
New Orleans.
they've been. I think the last 2 weeks they've had
Their offense
progressively
has not
less
been
yardage.
good.
No,
Late-
Baker's
lately.
last 2 games before their bye, Baker's
Yeah.
only completing like 56% of his passes. Their
Yeah.
guys are hurt. Like it's
Yeah.
not a him. It's
That's
just
why, like,
guys are hurt.
The Seattle game that I watched, that's not that team anymore, but that was a toe-to-toe, 35, 34, whatever it was. Like, I mean, just back and forth against each other, and that was a
So,
great game.
obviously, we are not allowed to ever bet on
Thank
sports,
God.
let alone
Thank
the
God.
NFL. But
course
if you're out there and you are someone who likes to dabble, be careful about this game. Be careful. Something's going on.
See, that's what I mean. What is going on?
Something.
What?
I have to wait for somebody from one of the houses to
But you
call
say
me.
that every single game, every single
No, I
spread.
do not.
You
Not
don't?
every single game.
You do. Like, what? So I'm just curious.
when I
Like, what
think-
is going on?
When I think there's a spread that's a little bit
So
fishy.
Okay, so
It's
what
got a-
is
it's got a
fishy
nose
about
for
this
it.
spread?
I think it should be closer
Why?
because I think the Patriots are a good team.
And that's
And
already
you don't
pretty
think
close.
Tampa's a good
I
team then?
think they're both good.
I think it's immense respect for the Patriots going on the road with a team coming off its bye that has won consistently as opposed to being the first time they've won. And it's a 3-point spread, which you've told me numerous times over the last 15 years is basically even because they're home.
I just told you that.
I know, because you changed because the Patriots are now underdogs by 3 on the road, so you're changing your whole mentality of the last 20 years.
No, I'm getting information. I'm getting information, and I unlike you, I'm not stubborn. I don't, I don't dig my heels in the sand on every take.
I often admit I'm wrong. Don't tell me that I don't admit I'm
Except
wrong.
when I don't.
He doesn't like Freddie the Greek. It's as if some of Freddie the
It's
Greek
just like
bugs him.
every single game we do the same thing. It's like what is this like with Joe Murray? Like this smells fishy. It smells like not every single game is.
I don't think it's every single
Like,
game,
no,
but
but
this
this
particular
one,
game,
this
something's
one.
up. I'd
Like
be a
what-
little. I might.
The Celtics game the other night smelled a little bit fishy.
might
Paul.
fade this.
Like Jalen Brown gets tripped on the
Yeah,
ground.
this would be one
and
I
they
would
don't call
fade.
it, and then they lose the game. It smelled a little bit fishy.
So I would just say like,
A little sus.
all right, Houston, Philadelphia, Seattle, San Francisco, Detroit. Those are teams that Tampa's played to get the same record as you.
Yeah.
You have Buffalo
Yeah.
that are the only team of any close to any of the caliber of those teams. So why is it so out of the ordinary that maybe people
Because
look
they're
at Tampa
banged
as
up.
being better than the
They're
Patriots?
banged up.
That's why it's only 3.
That's why it's only 3. Is exactly right. Like,
then,
why
then
is-
they really don't respect us.
No.
Right.
No,
Well,
The respect
but I think
increases.
that's
the disrespect
biggest
increases.
thing you have going for you is I think their offense, instead of scoring the 30 plus that they scored a lot earlier in the year, as Mike said, 29, 25, 38, 30 in a 4-week stretch, then they lost all those receivers and it was 9 and 23.
Yeah.
Like, so their offense is going the other way. If their offense was still rolling like that, like Evan said, you probably would be maybe a touchdown underdog in this game. I think that's the biggest thing you have going.
Yep.
Is that they're not going to probably get this to be a shootout.
Another part of it, Baker Mayfield has a knee injury. I mean, he's been on the injury report too, so that's something to watch this
And he's
afternoon.
wildly
like,
inconsistent
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
games.
Wow.
His
Should be a push.
accuracy is interesting to me. Like the Detroit game, he missed so many open receivers in
He
that
was
game.
awful that night.
I mean, he missed Tez Johnson on a crossing route wide open for a touchdown to make that game competitive, and he just airmailed one. And like he has weird, like he's got a rocket for an arm, but he's got these weird like bouts of inaccuracy.
I just don't look at Tampa like when they went to Buffalo. Like, I was like, that's going to be tough to win in Buffalo. Buffalo's like a touchdown. Like, I don't look at Tampa. Tampa's
No.
good.
Yeah.
I think they're very similar to the Patriots.
Yep.
They have a good, like, they're a good record. Like, I could understand, like, 2.5, 3, like.
Yeah. Just a little more
They're-
established. you
yeah.
know, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
They
It's
have
just-
a lot of experience on defense, and they have Bowles is a great defensive coordinator.
Is Larry Foote the former linebacker?
Yeah.
That he's the. I know he's the defensive coordinator. He's
Yeah.
the guy, Michigan guy.
Yep.
Played for the Jets, I think.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, he their defense is well designed, well executed, well everything. Offensively, I think another thing that's interesting about them is they're on their third coordinator in 3 years because Baker keeps getting his coordinator's head coaching job. So they're on a third head OC now, and I think over the last couple of weeks, I think it's injuries, but I know a lot of locally in Tampa, they're starting to come after the offensive coordinator a little bit. But I think that's mostly just injuries.
This is a very winnable game, Fred. This isn't like a lot of people went into Buffalo like, I don't know, maybe they can win this one. I know. This isn't that. If the Patriots win this game, it's a good, solid win. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not like this, oh, man, they shocked the world, stunning upset.
Oh, no.
This is a very winnable game.
Yeah. No.
The only other thing I would say, too, about it is I think that they might have a little bit of an advantage in terms of in-game coaching. Like, Todd Bowles is not exactly the best in terms of, all the stuff that Paul always brings up on Tuesdays, like managing the clock and the game situation and he's a really, really good defensive coordinator, really good at designing defense. But if he gets into a battle of wits with Mike Vrabel and it's a close game late and they both have to make some in-game decision-making type of things, I would go advantage Patriots there for sure.
One other thing, just real quick, Fred, that I picked up: two punts blocked, one for a touchdown, a field goal attempt blocked for a touchdown as well. They've had some special teams miscues, which maybe in the margins might be a place the Patriots could take advantage.
All right, well, let's have you join the discussion. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast@patriots.com is the email address. What do you think of the disrespect, both from the betting world and
it's untenable.
And in the trade market? Teams not willing to do business with the Patriots.
And Fred towards Paul.
Because nobody wants to be the team that helped the Patriots regain their greatness.
That's right.
I agree with you, Fred.
Yep.
Now that's funny. Your spread thing is nonsensical. That's fun. No one wants to trade with the Patriots to make them better.
I agree.
They're afraid.
Let's start with Herm in D.C. What's up, Herm?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Herm. Like Herm, the defensive coordinator.
Quick question.
Is this Herm Edwards?
No. Quick question. So,
Play to win
it
the
seems
game.
like there's a little bit of disappointment / surprise, as Paul says, surrounding the trade deadline that we did make in moves, but doesn't it affect that the Bills still pat? Obviously, the Jets subtracted, and Dolphins are the Dolphins. Maybe guys feel a little better, considering I think it was one of Coach Vrabel's goals to win a division, which I think is still full in play at this point. And I'll take it off there.
Okay.
So I think what's interesting, because I often think about those goals, because his first checkpoint was take advantage of bad football.
That's why you won a game Sunday.
I think we were there, right? I think we've done that.
Absolutely.
His second checkpoint was win the division. His third checkpoint was host home playoff game, which I guess kind of goes hand in hand with the division, and then compete for championships. That was sort of the how far have they gotten? Are they just at take advantage of bad football? Because their deadline signals to me that they feel like that's just where they are.
Yeah.
They might win the division anyways, just because of the way it's set up for them. But they might feel like they're not really in that compete for championships category yet.
I mean, it's lining up for that Buffalo game. I mean, I don't want to look ahead. I don't want to look ahead, Paul.
Fred wasn't at the meeting this week. You can look ahead. There was no one there to keep us grounded.
Is that right?
Yeah, we didn't have any of this woohoo. Yeah. No rah-rah speech. There was nothing. There was no let's
Very matter of fact.
keep your eye on the ball. There was none of that.
Everyone has their own style.
But even if you go 2-1 over these next three, I mean, not asking a lot. I don't think to maybe. I mean, Cincinnati probably going to have to put some points on the board against those guys. But, you go 2-1 over these three, you get the bye week. There's going to be a lot of hype. The Bills are probably going to win. I mean, it very well could be adding up that, for sure that it will be for the division, but it's probably going to feel like it when we go into that game, which is going to be pretty cool.
I'm going into that game thinking to myself, that's for the division.
So I heard something that game can't be flexed to a night game.
Oh,
because we've already had a night game with that opponent.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd never heard this rule.
I had not heard that, but it would make sense.
Yeah.
That does check out.
Yeah. That's good. So you're going to have a
So
December
Baltimore.
matinee.
Baltimore's the one we have to
Then you
got to
go to Baltimore. Yeah.
You could flex that is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But it would be
Because I
interesting,
think if the Patriots keep winning, they're going to want to get that. I mean, the Patriots are a huge market.
Yeah.
for the league.
Yeah.
They're going to want to get the Patriots in that prime time if they can. If they, if they're, I don't know, 10-3, why wouldn't you want to get them on TV more?
Yeah.
Sure.
In those windows.
Drake
Especially down
May's
the end.
I think he's
I mean,
a draw.
Drake May's an MVP candidate, absolutely.
Well, Baltimore's right after Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you happen to win that game. I mean, you got to keep it
Ooh,
rolling
baby.
against probably a Ravens team that I'm assuming at that point
Well, at
is
least
making
we'll
a
have
push
at least
and
have
is
Lamar, yeah.
playing better, and that's
Yeah, as
the
long
Ravens
as Lamar
team I
is still
assume.
healthy, that's a good point that Evan makes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a candidate to get
Right.
flexed.
The Drake May's like stardom is, and it's not just locally. Like he is a superstar nationally at this point, and I think it's his playing style. Like I think it's
do
just
too.
he just is so fun to watch because of how explosive the offense is with him at quarterback, and like it's not just us. Like the national media is falling over themselves over
Every
him,
week.
too.
Every
Yeah.
week that they're like effusive
Sure.
with the
Well, it's
praise.
just like the
He's the
downfield.
new thing.
It's the
He's the
downfield
new-
passing
But
stats.
he does, and
Yeah,
it's,
right.
but
Like
it's not like I'm not saying it's the same, but like it's Mahomes and Allen. It's like he's running around, he's making plays, he's making these throws down the field that not everybody can do.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that Buffalo game too was like it's a couple.
Yeah.
Of, I mean, the one with
Everybody
Diggs,
saw
of
it.
courst, but
But everybody saw it because it was on that national
Right,
window.
right. And
When
he
you
had-
have a quarterback that's as physically talented as he is, and then they're top 5 in the league in explosive play rate. So like you're watching an offense that just every
Big
week
plays.
is hitting
I know.
haymakers,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just everybody's just he's an absolute superstar.
Francisco's in North Carolina. Hey, Francisco. Francisco.
Francisco.
Rice Cerrone.
That's a fun
The
name.
Francisco.
It was fun, guys.
Have fun.
All right.
I
that's
agree
it?
with you a little
You're
too
out?
much today. I
Yeah.
didn't like it. Didn't care
You're
for
out.
it.
Evan's
See you
off
in the
to
locker
Where are you
room.
going, Evan?
It's going to Vrabes.
You going to see Vrabel? I thought he was at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's you
9
got 10 minutes.
Don't leave us.
You got to catch an Uber to get over there? What are you doing? Okay.
Why didn't you make any moves?
Uber.
You don't want to win.
All right, he's out.
All right.
Let's go to Monroe in North Carolina. Hey, Monroe.
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 Good job, Fred.
It was only like 50 minutes
Why'd
that he
you
was
do
on
this?
the okay. How about we go to Fresno? Cody's in Fresno. Hey, Cody.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call.
Sure.
A couple of thoughts and observations I wanted to share with you. Over the course of the season, I think you guys have mentioned it. We start a little slow in regards to giving up the scripted drive from the other team. But on Sunday, it was kind of the opposite.
Yep.
First half, we did well and we went down the field. But the second half, we kind of fell apart and let the team come back.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen, it's kind of been a tale of two halves for the whole year.
Yep.
And I'm wondering what the reason for that is. The other question or the other thought I had is, excuse me. A lot of times when we're playing these teams, I feel like they get a lot of injuries. They get banged up, and it seems like the effort and toughness that the team plays with is too much to handle. I don't know what it is exactly, but I notice a lot of injuries for our opponents when we play them. So I'm wondering
Well,
what that
heading into the games.
Oh. Well, we beat
Yeah.
them up too. I know what you're saying,
I mean,
Cody.
the Patriots lost a lot more players during that game the other day than Atlanta did,
But we're tougher.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
Patriots had
for the
like
most
4 or
part,
5
though-
guys leave that game the other
Yeah.
day. And the Falcons had a couple too. The linemen. I think the guard got hurt early in the game, Bergeron.
Yeah.
But I think the injuries
like
are
a
more
lot of
so
times, though-
teams are banged up heading into games.
Yeah.
for the most part.
What are you saying, Cody?
I was going to say sometimes during the games, at least the ones I've seen, the teams that get banged up, those players are like out for the game. A lot of times our players, when we get banged up, fortunately we've been
lucky.
avoiding major injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been avoiding major injuries. We'll get banged up.
They're
and
better
go
at
in and
that,
out,
too.
but the
We'll
other
move on.
teams,
I just
they
said we're
definitely,
lucky.
They had guys leave the game the other day.
I know, but overall in the season, you have to admit we've been pretty good with injuries.
We've been excellent with injuries. I don't really see a correlation like the in-game injuries. Like,
I haven't really clocked it. I don't know.
yeah, it's like there's a
All
guy,
right.
once in a
Cody,
while a
you
guy
hang
gets
in
hurt.
there.
It's like, I don't
Hang
know, like,
in there,
what's
Cody.
the point other
Yeah.
than to say what you said?
Yeah.
It's luck.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky.
Yeah. To his first point, though, that was a funny part of Vrabel's press conference on Monday where
Yeah.
he kind of was like, for those of you who want to know, I'd much rather prefer to have a slow first drive and finish strong.
I'd rather give up a touchdown on the first drive and shut him out the rest of the way than what happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Now his thing about like why haven't they be able to put 60 minutes together? I think a lot of it has to do with with matchups and other teams making, us making adjustments to make bad into good. But I think in this case, I think Atlanta made some good adjustments in the second half to give us trouble. Each game is a little bit different, I think.
Yeah.
To say, oh, this is the reason why they haven't put 60 minutes together, and it's one reason. I think every game has its own reason.
Yeah.
Like last game, that play with Drake changed everything.
Yep.
If he doesn't make that, I'm not sure that we're in a battle at the end of that game.
Yeah.
But so every game, you have to look at every game in its own context, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I continue just to struggle to really get a beat on the defense. Like, I believe in their run defense now. I really do. Like, that's something I think is a truth. But as we talked about yesterday, there's just, something doesn't quite add up. And, Evan's kind of theory is that it's some of the coverage stuff, but I don't know, still don't know what to think of this defense. When it comes down to it against a good quarterback and a gotta-have-it moment, are they going to be the defense?
A lot of it is
that's
the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's why most games are one score or less.
Yeah.
8 points or less.
There's ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And Fred's point is right. It's probably something different from game to game. I think Mike makes a good point of having a hard time getting a read on the defense. Offensively, to me, it's been much bigger fluctuation from half to half.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami game, they did very little in the second half.
Yeah.
The Tennessee game, very little in the second half. New Orleans, very little in the second half. This game, Atlanta, almost nothing in the second half. Raiders, nothing in the second half. The Cleveland game, nothing in the first half. And then they had a great second half offensively. So I think it just kind of speaks to Evan's point about not necessarily wanting to embrace the trade deadline and going all in. They kind of know what they are. They don't have quite enough to do any of this for 60 minutes. And they know it. And I think they're coaching their asses off to get what they're getting out of what they have. And it's hard to just, scheme up a Pop Douglas play like that for 60 full minutes.
Yeah.
They've been able to do it. They did it coming out of the halftime break against Cleveland. But all those other games, they had really good first halves offensively and kind of slowed down a little bit in the second half.
Yeah.
Because I think once, to Fred's point, once the other team sort of figures it out a little bit, sometimes they have as much talent as you, if not more, and they're able to neutralize you, even as well as Drake May has played.
Yeah. You remember that
That's a very
conversation?
simplistic way of looking at
Remember
it.
a conversation I think we had last year? We've had it from time to time, but just how many actual really good defenses are there in the league that are consistently every week they show up 60 minutes? It's I think this is kind of how the league is to some extent, and that's part of that's unsure, because I do think that, if you were to get into a playoff game, I can sell myself on, it's going to be back and forth and they're going to give up some points, but when it comes down to the final 5 minutes of the game, I feel pretty good about Milton Williams and Christian Barmore and those guys being the kind of guys that can finish the game. Now, do I know they're going to do it? No. But this is kind of how NFL defense is now, too.
Anthony's in Seattle. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, what's up, people?
Hey.
Hey, so I've been sending in the PFW mock covers ever since you guys,
nice.
one of the callers came with that idea. And I had a headline all ready if the game had played out the way it looked like it was going to play out. It was going to be doing the Birds dirty. But, of course, the game turned on its head, and there was another Drake who was the star of the game, so I kind of leaned into that. But it was half-hearted. I sent it in to Alex, but just let her know. No offense if it doesn't make the newsletter, because it wasn't my best.
Okay.
Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about Josh McDaniels. I've been kind of noticing. So how you kind of look at Bill a little bit different the further he's removed from having Tom Brady at his hip. I'm having that same effect with Josh McDaniels, but in the good way. And I'm starting to really look at him like, man, like if you look at like the version of Cam Newton he had to work with, then Mac Jones rookie year, another feather in his cap, and then Drake May, who's you could argue he's probably the most talented quarterback he's had to work with. But then that might be the case, but this is no run of the mill year 2 jump. This is like the kid's an MVP candidate. This is like dramatic what he's doing, and I'm looking at Josh like, man, I didn't know he was this good, and I'm not as convinced anymore that he's not going to get another third head coaching opportunity somewhere. Just that he's got a strong resume out there. So
He might.
Just curious what you guys think. I'll hang up and listen.
What about a head coach in the college?
It's interesting. I brought that up.
Thanks, Anthony.
A few weeks ago, I think, on my show with Mike and Tony, and we may have talked about it here too. I would have told you heading into the season, regardless of how well Josh McDaniels does, he's done. He had he had two disasters as a head coach. Now there are plenty of examples of guys that get more than 2 chances for whatever reason, and they're not guys that you think of. Like Pete Carroll's one of them, and he's had obviously a lot of success. Mm-hmm. But like guys like Norv Turner, who basically didn't really do it all 3 times. Mm-hmm. Wade Phillips, some guys like that. I think Anthony makes a good point. When you look at just how much better Drake made, now I've been on, Mike and I kind of bickered about this on a post-game show, and we did a trash talk for it on the TV show. I give a lot more credit to Drake May. But it's inarguable that Josh McDaniels has had an enormous impact, positive impact on Drake May.
If you're looking at seasons that Josh kind of proved himself without Tom Brady, you have to include that Cam Newton season too. That was the corpse of Cam Newton. And what they won 9 games or something that year?
7, but they were terrible, and that was terrible offense.
But they won games with this guy who was washed.
I mean,
totally.
It was more than Cam Newton. That was a terrible team.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But I give Josh a lot of credit too, but I also want to see how this finishes up, because this is where offensive coordinators earn their money. It's not when you spring something new on the league and you have some success at the beginning. It's about
what happens when they catch up.
What happens when they catch up? Drake May's coming off a tough game. Drake May felt sped up again for the first time in a couple months now. So this is where, we're talking the Patriots have a chance at the division. Well, do they continue to peak and rise, or do they kind of level off and Drake May returns to earth? I'm sure there'll be some element of that. He's not going to play at the level he played at a couple weeks ago consistently, but this is, to me, where you prove it. So I appreciate what he's saying and I give credit to both those guys, and it's been great. But let's see how it looks in November and December.
No Vrabel yet, Alex?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But I do think Anthony's point is not out of the realm of possibility. Do I expect him to get another job? No, I don't. But I would have said there's a 0% chance heading into the season. I don't put it at 0 anymore. And I think Fred's point about college is also relevant. If the right kind of opportunity came up, I know he loves this area. He doesn't want to take his kids out of here. That's why I would put it at a very small percentage. He wants to stay here.
I know, and that's when I look at him, and he just seems so like new age Josh. He seems relaxed. He seems like he has this young quarterback, and he's never going to tell the media, and I'm sure everyone wants to ask him this, but for him, like, it's easy to say. I could imagine him being like, man, I got it made. Like I can sit here with Drake May, reestablish myself as, an all-time New England Patriot coach as an offensive coordinator, yes, but at the same time, like, go get some Super Bowls. Go answer some of these people that, felt like, oh, it was all Tom or it was all Bill. I mean, Josh, no one's ever going to give him all the credit, but I think he can continue to really cement his legacy as one of the greatest Patriots coaches of all time if he does this again with Drake May and wins playoff games with him.
Brady writes in,
Tom?
New England transplant who has Bucs season tickets since
Sounds like
2021.
Tom Brady
can assure you it does not matter how well the Bucs are playing. Other teams take over Raymond James every week.
Really?
Obviously, late in the fall with the weather being great here compared to the north, that factors in for fans traveling down. But it goes beyond that. So far this season, I would estimate the crowds have been 35% Jets fan, 50% Eagles fan for that game, 40% 49ers. I'm estimating between 40 and 50% Patriots fans.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be huge. I told you, my ticket contact within, it's by far and away, the people in Tampa have told us that by far and away this was the most visiting fan ticket request they've gotten. And it makes sense, but what you're talking about, San Francisco might be a little bit of an outlier, but the Jets and Philly, people from this area, they go down to Florida. They want to do it. And I know those games were earlier in the year, but it's still much better down there than what we had.
Lastly, Evan is correct about the Bucs defense. If you're going to score on them, you better start early. Bowles makes incredible in-game adjustments and gives quarterbacks trouble.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good intel.
Yeah.
All around. I do expect there to be a lot of Patriots fans based on what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Patriots fans in Tampa.
Chad's not happy. He's in Atlanta.
Chad?
Chad.
What's the matter, Chad?
Because I get pessimistic at times. That being said, the lack of any moves at all yesterday was kind of confusing and troubling. Do they not think that they're good enough of a contender to bother to add anyone? Or do they honestly think they can sustain with what they have? Either way, it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah. Well, I think you have
I think
to.
they tried.
I need more information.
Takes two to tango.
Yeah.
Do you know they tried?
Yeah.
How?
Tennessee.
How do you know that they tried?
I was told.
Okay. That's what I asked. Do you know?
Yeah. I said yes.
Yeah, but I wanted to know like why. It was
Yeah.
just a Fredism?
No. I was.
Was this like a line moving thing, or?
Thank you, Mike.
We were told the person we wanted wasn't going to be traded, and then
and then they were.
They weren't going to trade him, and then they traded him.
All right. Well, rivalry back on.
Or maybe they didn't want to trade what they didn't want to give what Baltimore gave.
I don't know. No. We were told not trading him.
Okay.
He asked, and then I tell him, and he doesn't believe me. So I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Just for an update, the line's back down to 2.5.
No.
It's down to
Fred,
2.5 now.
Wow. Just you can feel the line moving
Fred's
with
magic.
us just talking about it.
Fred's magic.
Patriots Unfiltered.
There's a lot of
right?
money
The
moving
Sharps
right now.
are listeing right
There's
now.
a lot of money changing hands right now.
They like
Either that or some kid making $10 an hour. That's like
Yeah.
2.5.
Oh man, can you imagine that? That's why I'm like, sometimes I think when we watch some of the gambling ads and stuff, I'm like, I'm just kind of glad that I'm being saved for myself, that I just can't even really consider it, because it just seems like once I start doing it, like watching the Bruins last night, like things like that, like I feel like it'd be so easy to be like, yeah, give me a three.
You
three
watched
play
the Bruins last night?
I did watch a little.
How do you do that?
I got a Fubo now.
Oh,
so I can
okay,
get
good
Vanessa.
for you.
Can I tell you how much I hate the Bruins? I really don't like them right now. I hate the defenseman.
They're hot.
I know.
Well, that's because the best defenseman's hurt.
I hate
Jordan
Zadorov.
Harris.
I hate Zadorov.
Zadorov bothers
I
me.
hate what's his face, Lindholm. That guy.
Oh, I like Hampus.
Hampus.
I like him. I don't like the other.
And it's because I see a little too much of
Little Bruins
myself in it.
talk.
Did you see last night? He had a play where it's like on the power play, and they do that thing where they bring it up and then they pass it back to
Oh,
the
I
late
hate
guy,
that.
and he
But
like
they all
passed it
do
back
it.
to the other team, and they had a 2-on-1.
They all do it though. It just bugs me. That whole
I don't like it
breakout.
either.
I don't know why that became such a thing, but everybody does it.
Well, it's fine if you just don't give it to the other team, Hampus, because now they're going in. I don't. Their defense bug me.
All right.
Rant over. Here we go.
Vrabel's up.
Mike.
Fantastic.
On Monday, you talked about doing your due diligence regarding trades. I'm wondering, were you close to making
What did I
any
say on Monday? Because I forgot.
I said you were going to do your due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, were you close to making any deals, and is there any measure of disappointment?
Well, first I would say that deals are like being pregnant. You either are or you aren't. There's no like it's either a deal or it's not. So I don't know how close you can be. I know that everyone worked hard and that we investigated and looked in and made phone calls and what personnel departments do. And in the end, we decided that this was what we were going to do and decided to move forward with our preparation. Tampa, excellent football team, coming off a bye. A lot of really good veterans that have played at a high level for a lot of years, and a really, really competitive quarterback who's never out of it. So, that's where our focus is. I know that there's a lot of action and a lot of talk, and again, it's kind of where we're at.
Difficult at all for the organization to sort of adhere to its plan when you guys are performing the way you're performing right now, at the top of the division and near the top of the conference, just to be a little bit more aggressive and try to capitalize on what's happening now?
No, I never really looked at it that way. I think we're trying to build a program, the same thing that we said when we got here, and I think that's part of building a program, is finding ways to win and building a team and figuring out where the pieces are that we can continue to add that when it makes sense. And so I don't think this is a negative. I don't think this is just where we're at. And I know they worked extremely hard to make calls and have conversations, and in the end, we didn't do anything.
Tayshaun's injury, is that a situation where you just like to slot in Kyle Williams, or could Pop get more snaps as well?
Well, I think that if you know anything about the group, which I know that you guys do, there's a lot of interchangeable parts. They play at different positions. They're in different spots. And that's not easy. I mean, that's not. You know, I mean, going from the Z in this personnel group to the X, and so I give those guys a lot of credit. I give Todd a lot of credit for being able to teach it in a manner that allows them to get lined up. And so, you know, that group, they'll all play. They'll all contribute. We'll see where Kayshawn is at the end of the week, but he won't be out there today. And Ellis won't be out there, and Ramondre won't be out there today. So give other guys opportunities.
Mike, when it comes to Stephon Diggs, how much has he helped change the culture that you wanted to change when you come?
Well, I appreciate everything he does. I appreciate his leadership, his communication. It's easy to talk to. I've said that before. Nothing's forced. Nothing's, it's like very easy conversations. It's been in here a lot. Again, 41 guys lifted yesterday on a day off. Came into the building lifted, which I thought is a really positive thing at this time of the year. And we talked to them about the season's really just getting started right now.
What challenges does Todd Bowles' defense present? How much has it evolved over the course of time?
Well, I'm going to give Todd credit, but obviously the credit goes to the players. They've got veteran players that play physical. Two really aggressive corners. Obviously the safeties, playmakers with Winfield. But up front, Vita and Reddick and Diaby, Levante David's been doing it at such a high level. So again, credit to the players. And then what Todd adds is just a lot of pressure, great disguises, bringing multiple players from off the football. It's not just a linebacker. You could have a corner, you could have a safety, you could have the nickel, and the coverage changes, and you've seen them force a lot of turnovers, especially on third down, when quarterbacks are making quick decisions that they make the wrong decision. So 10 turnovers in the last 4 games, and this will be critical that we take care of the football.
Mike, you've been really clear about your, the long-term vision for the program, is what's most important here and factored in.
No, winning is the most important thing. Don't put words in my mouth. Winning is the most important thing.
When you guys were discussing how to handle the trade deadline, did the fact of how wide open the AFC currently looks like at all factor into your decision-making?
For us to sit here and think that anything is wide open and talk about playoffs, like we're focusing on our 10th game in a row. That's what we're focused on, is how do we get prepared on Wednesday? How do we get our bodies back? How do we get mentally prepared, physically prepared to go on the road to a place that is hard to play? And that's where our focus is. It's not trying to predict the future of saying, well, it's wide open. We're just going to keep focusing on what's in front of us, and that's what those conversations are about.
Mike, about the about the Buccaneers offense, what is it about their scheme that really challenges you? And
there's a lot of stuff before the snap, we'll have to be great with. Just the motions and the shifts, and again, give them credit. They've got guys going in different spots and jet motions and fly motions, getting guys open, because defenses are having issues with their eyes, and they're looking at this tight end and the other one's releasing and he's wide open, and Baker can extend plays or even manufacture the keepers to both sides. It's not like he's just moving the pocket one direction. If you don't give it a clean look, if you give him a clean look, he's going to be able to function extremely well. And and then they've got backs that can really hurt you. It's downtown to get it to one of these backs, and then it's an open field tackle drill. And they've created X plays that way, and they're hard to tackle.
Their injury situation, does that make it a little more difficult to prepare for them this week?
I would imagine we're planning on. Other than I would say probably Mike Evans, but I think that the plays have remained consistent, and we'll just have to continue to prepare. As everybody's going to be there.
Mike, Demario Douglas said after the game that this season has been trust the process. kind of mentality for him, just with his like lack of snaps at the beginning to now like getting some more. Just what have you seen from him as the season has gone on that has allowed him to kind of succeed in these past few games the way he has?
Same positive attitude every day, same workman-like attitude, infectious energy that everybody loves being around him, being ready for his opportunity, not knowing which way the game's going to go and how those snaps are going to unfold, and then just being ready to play multiple positions and do multiple things, and it's just a great example of being ready to go.
When you watch tackle film, what are you seeing from him in terms of being like a default threat?
Well, I mean, he's getting, anytime, you can get a player in there in a slot that can, work vertical, can track the ball. Again, when I think Drake looks for him when he extends, down the field. So those are all important things. He's been reliable. He's created separation.
On defense, I've noticed that when the stop is being made, your players, sometimes all of them, will rush to the spot. You guys have been talking about swarming the football as one of the key things the coaches want you to do. So I'm just wondering, why is it so important for you to build your defensive identity around that?
Well, the athletes in this league are really good, and every team has them. And sometimes people miss tackles or their space plays. Sometimes teams try to create numbers out on the perimeter. For example, the second play of the game, maybe, first play of the game, I guess. I don't know, maybe a second, can't remember. And Milt's running out there, and the linebackers are triggering, and Milt's running down the line. And, we talk about making them earn it. That's a defensive lineman hitting a running back for a 2-yard gain. So I would say that they earned all those 2 yards last week, and that'll be critical this week. You've seen different players, whether that's Harold, Milt, Christian, Tonga, KC, all those guys that play along the front, going to extend and help us out on the perimeter because, sometimes those are tough tackles. So that's what we want to. That's how we want to play defense, and it starts with that, and then we look at the technique, and then we look at the scheme.
How much has the physical state of the team started to creep to the forefront of your mind?
Well, I think a little bit. I think a little bit. I think it has to. We just have to get them ready. We have to get them energized to be able to match Tampa's energy coming off a few days off. And I'm confident that by the time Sunday's here, we'll be able to do that.
And then managing, as you've mentioned a couple times, veteran guys who have had 10 weeks in a row plus training camp, short week next week. Is this more and more measuring along with your training staff, nutrition staff, what these guys need?
Well, we've had extensive talks about what we think each guy needs and what we think the team needs. So we'll try to do that, but that's, fairly accurate. Chris, you want to last one?
What appealed to you guys about Rice?
Good size. Good size. I think he's shown the ability to learn quickly. I think that was something that's important at this time of year, being able to get a guy in here, that can help us at multiple spots if something happens. Start on the practice squad, and then everybody has to prepare like a starter. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
In the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate.
Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, "Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money." Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
And now, great moments in history.
You know, in the media area down by the rope there, and all of a sudden this, tall guy, it's like, that's Jason Tatum. I have to admit, I was a little bit starstruck.
Yeah.
You know?
You know he's tall, and you watch
Yeah,
basketball
tall.
games,
He is
and you
6'10",
know they're
Alex, good
tall. If you let me finish my sentence, you would hear
Fred,
me say.
you let her finish her
but
sentence.
then you see Tatum standing next to an offensive lineman or like a massive behemoth of a D tackle, and you're like, Tatum's really effing tall.
He had like this new surgery.
I know it's going to have him back before the season even starts.
Can you let me have some hope, Paul, for 2 seconds? But so he had the surgery immediately, within 24 hours, and then he had this new, I think it's called the speed bridge. It's like this new procedure of how they
Supposed to sniff after.
You guys know me well enough to know that I am now an expert on Achilles recovery. Let's be honest. He had the speed bridge procedure with the best doctor in the world who performs this surgery in New York City. The
best.
The
The best.
Celtics were
Vinny
playing.
Boom Butts.
They were playing in New York when it happened, so that's why.
You know, he had the surgery that night.
Can you let me finish?
That's a fact.
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast@patriots.com is the email address. Deuce is off to the locker room, so he'll be back. Evan is also in the locker room, but he's going to go to practice after, so
Correct.
he won't be back. But Deuce will, and I'm sure he'll make one of his patented entrances.
He will.
Yeah.
Probably while I'm in mid-sentence because I'm always talking.
Yep. So let's get back to these emails here. Robert writes in. He says, I agree with Fred. The odds are disrespectful. The Bucs' best wins are the Seahawks. They didn't really dominate anybody this year. If we all agree these two teams are comparable, no reason the Bucs should be -3. That's strange. Also, who's saying the Pats have had no major injuries? We missed Gonzo for 3 games. Now Ramondre Gibson and our number 1 receiver is injured too. I mean, it's starting to pile up.
Wait a minute.
It's starting to pile up.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
You missed Gonzo for 3 games.
Yep.
None of those others qualify as major injuries. Like missing Ramondre Stevenson for a game is not a major injury.
Oh, we lost Gibson
Missing
for the
Antonio
season.
Your third running back you lost for the season.
He had a touchdown on a kickoff.
Yeah, your third string running back.
Yeah.
That doesn't qualify as a major injury. And Kayshon Boutte is not your number 1 receiver.
No, Diggs is your number 1 receiver. But
and he, by the way, missed half a game.
I mean, Boutte was on a Pro Bowl,
right
trajectory.
So, I would say that the Patriots received a lot of respect and only the bare minimum of a home underdog, a home favorite for Tampa Bay.
Well,
that's all.
Okay.
Like, if the Patriots were underdogs by like 8 points, I could totally understand what you're talking about. Like, what has Tampa done that's so much better than what the Patriots have done that you're giving them all this respect? They didn't. It's 2.5 points.
I think
it's kind of like the bare minimum for a good home team at home, being favored.
Went back up to 3 while we were talking.
No, it went back down to 2.5.
Now it's down to 2.5 now?
According to Matt in the booth.
I thought it went up to 3 again.
He said it was back down to 2.5.
Oh.
So
it's currently at 2.5.
So if you want to just keep Like, does it?
If they were healthy,
I just don't
wouldn't it
really
be
understand. I think if they were healthy, it would be more. But they would be better.
Disrespect.
They would be better if they were healthy. They'd be the better team if they were healthy. I think it's pretty even, and I think the line shows that.
Tony in Michigan says people need a reality check. He says it in all caps. The whole offseason.
I do like these when they tell us how we're not looking at it properly.
Okay. The whole offseason, we discussed how the team still needed lots of building blocks and had a lot of gaps to fill. We are now outplaying our talent level, and people want to mortgage the future for a divisional round playoff exit. Enjoy the fact that the team is playing well with what's here. Hope they can continue to play well and recognize that there is still building to be done. Great teams aren't built at the trade deadline, and very rarely is a true impact player available. If you want depth pieces, you can still look at other practice squads to poach. I'm glad the team didn't part with valuable assets for a backup linebacker or give up a first for Hendrickson.
So, well, the first for Hendrickson was not an option. But what mortgage of the future was there? What move do you think that they didn't do what was wise?
Well, that's the thing. It's everyone thinks it's an either or.
Right.
It's not.
That's all I'm saying. No one's suggesting they should have given 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Nobody in New England wants that. No one wanted it. No one wants it. No one thinks that they should have done it. They didn't need a cornerback that badly to make a move like that. But you're telling me that trading a 6th-round pick for, how about even like one of those pick swaps? We'll trade a 6th and you give us a 7th for Jerome Ford. That's mortgaging the future just to get another NFL caliber running back in? And I'm not saying that is the difference, but those are the kinds of moves we're talking about. We're not talking about Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. Patriots have 2 really good defensive tackles in Christian Barmore and Milton Williams. They didn't need Quinnen Williams. I mean, I would always take Quinnen Williams, don't get me wrong, but they didn't necessarily need him.
Yeah.
We're not looking at trading multiple first-round picks to make the team better.
Eric in Maine, I don't understand why we got rid of Keon White and Duggar, then didn't pick up a pass rusher or running back. What's your thoughts on this? We have a couple injuries and we're done.
I think Fred has this one. I think that they were trying.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And
they
I
don't
think
want to trade with us.
The Tennessee thing, I think, makes sense. Amy Adams-Strunk did not want to trade with Mike Vrabel. She's still mad at him for whatever reason. And I think that's bad business on her part. I think if they had a deal, a potential deal with the Patriots that made sense for the Titans, they should have been interested in it. But she felt differently, right? I mean, according to some scuttlebutt, nobody's really reporting that, but people are alluding to it. So you know how I always feel with those things. When there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Okay.
I'll bet you there's some accuracy to that.
Chris in Virginia, firstly, congratulations to Marine for being the biggest climber in the picks pool last week. Oh, I didn't know that.
Good job, Marine.
I did not know that myself.
Question for the team. After the trades by the Jets, including Sauce to the Colts, does this make any significant difference to our chances of winning either the division or the conference? I think it makes the 2 Jets games a little bit easier.
Yeah, probably, but you weren't losing those games. You're just not.
Paul, it's just hard to win every game in your division.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
To beat the Jets twice, you don't have to win every game in your division.
No, but are you gonna beat the Bills twice?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So you don't have to win every game in your division.
But,
that's not so right there.
I'm just saying there's going to be losses against AFC East teams.
Yeah, the Bills. They're an AFC East team.
So you think they're going to go 5-1?
Probably.
I just think it's hard to do that.
I don't think it's hard to be 1-7 teams.
It was hard to do when Tom Brady was on the team.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
That's
was.
why they beat them. They beat both the Jets and the Bills like 30 years in a row.
But
it wasn't hard for them. And it's not going to be hard now.
Look at the division. There was like 1 year I think they went 6-0.
I'm not suggesting 6-0, Fred. I'll grant you a loss to Buffalo, but it's not hard to beat a 1-7 team. They should be able to do that. It makes it a little easier.
Division games are tricky, and often
I'll tell you what I'm a little worried about.
Teams lose to teams in the division that they shouldn't lose to. It just happens.
I'll tell you what I'm a little worried about if you listen.
I have a feel for the league. Go ahead.
I'm a little worried that the head coach, and we haven't really alluded to a lot of what Mike Vrabel had to say. You guys just heard him. Kind of making a lot of mention the last week and a half, 2 weeks of the grind. 10 weeks in a row now. Well, week 11 is a short week.
That's right.
On a Thursday night. I'm a little worried about that based on the way that Mike is sounding talking about the team.
It's
What
like
is the number one thing that worries you about the roster right now? Most people would say depth.
Right.
So if you're a little short on depth and now you're starting to get a little banged up, and oh, by the way, you played 10 games in a row, 11 games in a row, Thursday night game. Now, I just don't think the Jets are good enough to do it.
No,
but that would worry me a little bit.
Given that, Paul.
Division game on a Thursday night would worry me a little bit.
Paul?
And it's a little easier without Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams.
Could this Tampa game be a scheduled loss?
No.
No?
No. I give the Patriots I mean, maybe I'm overestimating
What's more important, this game or the Jets game?
In my opinion, this game.
Really?
By a lot.
Why? Because
they're good. You got to show everybody that you can beat a good team.
But in terms of chances to win the division?
It's irrelevant. Same.
So never does division record come into play?
It does, but you'll have to beat Buffalo to have a better division record.
Well,
and you'll have the tiebreaker over Buffalo. You don't have to worry about division records.
I think the Jets, I know the Jets aren't half as good as Tampa Bay, but it could be more important.
I know what you're saying in terms of tiebreakers and stuff like that. I'm talking about the team, trying to be as good as the team can be. I think it would be much better for the team to show that, you know what, they were right about us. We can't, when we played the next good team, like, you were like another opportunity. No, this is a opportunity. They haven't really had any. They only had one.
No, they're all
and they passed that one with flying colors in Buffalo.
All right.
So now go down to Tampa and do it again.
This is a tough one, Paul. It's a stump Paul question.
Trivia?
Yeah.
Nice. Mike says he's got a good one for me tomorrow.
It's less trivia, but anyway, with the recent trades, there are now only 10 players still with the team that were drafted by Bill Belichick. Can you name them?
The Patriots have 10 players that were drafted by Belichick?
Yeah.
Kayshon Boutte, Demario Douglas, Mike Onwenu.
3.
Marcus Jones.
4.
Ramondre Stevenson.
5. One was...
Christian Gonzalez.
6. One was supposedly on the trade block.
Anthony Jennings.
7.
Is that the one you were just talking about?
Yep.
There's 10, huh?
Yeah.
That's 7. I don't want to waste any more
Mapu.
time. Okay.
Barringer.
All right.
That's 8 and 9. You got Did you say Marcus Jones?
Yes.
Yeah. So what did you miss? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Barringer, Barmore. You said.
I never said Barmore.
Oh, you never said Barmore.
I never said Barmore.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I never said Barmore. That's the other one.
Yeah. A wrong answer would have been Brendan Schooler. He was signed as an undrafted free agent, not drafted.
A lot of those, right?
Yeah.
Del Pettis, I think, was one of those too.
Yep.
Oh, was he last year? He might have been Mayo.
Barton Poland says, I might be in the minority, but I'm totally fine with how our trade deadline went. If the right deals weren't there at the reasonable prices, I'm glad we didn't overspend. Paul mentioned that the Commanders didn't mortgage their future, but they literally traded 2/3, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a 2026 second. That's not exactly smart resource management, and they're paying for it now. Ironically, the Daniels injury might actually end up helping them.
No, they're not paying for it. They have the second most cap space in football behind you.
Well, that's not.
That's not mortgaging your future. That's my point. You have plenty of opportunities to build your team.
Of course, I wouldn't have complained if we made a big move.
Exactly. That's the way you guys like to do it. You just automatically say it's the right thing to do.
I'd have liked to added a depth addition, but the biggest sellers were never going to trade with us anyway. In addition, plenty of contenders did absolutely nothing. And let's not act like teams were snatching away players at our positions of need. If almost none of those realistic depth targets moved elsewhere, it probably means that asking prices were just too steep.
So do you think that the Patriots roster is as good as like everybody else's? That all the contenders like Kansas City, Buffalo?
No.
So do you think maybe they had less of a need?
Yeah.
And again, I started the whole show by saying this, and I stay with it. I'm not upset in any way, shape, or form that the Patriots didn't. I don't think the trade deadline is necessarily a huge avenue to do this. Like, the whole put you over the top kind of argument. Now, you can make an argument the Colts made that kind of a swing. They acquired a guy they badly needed because of their situation in the secondary, was probably going to be their undoing if they didn't make a significant move.
Yep.
But I'm not upset that the Patriots didn't make a move. But I'm just glad that Bart, because that was a good balanced email, because at least he admits if the Patriots had traded for Draymond Jones, you said that they inquired about.
Yep.
If the Patriots had traded, say, I don't know, a 4th-round pick for Draymond Jones, no one would be sitting here saying, I can't believe that they mortgaged their future and did this. You'd be excited that they added at a position that you think that they need help at.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So just, that's why I like the way Bart said it. He was honest. If they didn't do anything, he's okay with it. And if they had done something, he would have been okay with that too. That's honesty.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Eldred in North Carolina is on the line. What's up, Eldred?
Hey, fellas. How y'all doing?
Rashid Shaheed on line 2.
What's up?
Hey, Paul.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you a little bit. I wish that they did get some depth, like a corner or linebacker, or maybe somewhere that like he just said, he's worrying about the 10 weeks grind, which it is, but they didn't. So I just got to go with it.
Right.
But there was a report out there from Pat's Cap and Lock on Patriots.
Those aren't reports.
Those aren't real.
About whatever.
Yeah.
The lady from Tennessee did tell everybody did not trade with Vrabel.
Right.
Yes,
And
I said that.
Everybody-
There are a lot of people who have alluded to it. No one's reporting it, but there have been a lot of allusions to the fact that the Titans were unwilling to trade with the Patriots.
Right.
Because of Amy Adams.
According to them guys, they're reporting it.
Yeah, no, I
maybe
mean, I
Maybe not what you call, but
I read where it originated and not reporting it.
Okay, my question is this. This was worried me the most about Tampa Bay defense. Okay. Is our line. Missing stunts, Drake speeding up, Drake looking like that rookie, whatever. That's what's worrying me. And then our defense covering Abuka and everybody else. And take it off the air and tell me how you think we might be able to fix that line thing. And I'll take it from there.
No, it's a concern.
Thanks, Eldred.
Thanks, E. It's a concern. I mean, Tampa's got 15 sacks in their last 3 games. The Patriots have allowed 12 sacks in their last 2. I don't think all of those sacks are on the Patriots' offensive line, but I think more of them than have been credited. I think everybody, it's now open season on Drake May takes too many sacks. It's his fault. I think the reason that Drake May takes all those sacks is because he's making all these plays that's carrying your offense. And I think if you ask him to just not do that anymore, I think your offense is going to take a hit.
I agree. Curtis in St. Louis, personally, I believe the Patriots will definitely make the playoffs this year. Not sure if you guys agree or not.
I strongly agree.
My larger question is how likely is it that they win the division? I charted out the remainder of the season for both Bills and Patriots, my predictions on their win-loss totals. Ultimately, I have the Patriots falling short to Buffalo by 1 game.
Me too.
Thus not taking the division this year. Wanted your thoughts. And he's got it laid out if you're interested. But he's got the Patriots ending the season at 12-5 and Buffalo at 13-4.
Yeah, I think the Patriots could go 11-6, but that's my low water mark, 11-6. Because I always think the Fred Kirsch theory, as much as I bicker with you, the Fred Kirsch theory is accurate. You always lose a game you don't expect to lose.
Right. Well, if they go 4-4 the rest of the way, they're 11-6.
Right. But I just look at it as like people probably. I'm assuming he has the win-loss there. I'm assuming he has Buffalo and Baltimore as losses.
Does he have Tampa? He's got Tampa Bay as a loss. He's got Buffalo as a loss, and he's got Baltimore as a loss.
Okay, so those are the only 3 losses he has.
But what does that tell you, though? Are you happy about that? Because
I would rather
I'd rather lose to the Jets.
This is what I'm saying to you. Like, I think it tells you more of your capability. But whatever. I think the Fred Kirsch theory of you always lose a game you don't expect to lose.
Right.
And I like the Giants Monday night game, to me, there's probably not a person in New England that thinks there's any chance the Patriots lose that game. I think that will be a dogfight.
Yep, you're looking ahead to the bye.
I think the Giants have played reasonably well since Jackson Dart has been their quarterback.
Agreed.
I think they've had a chance in most of the games that he's played.
Right.
So I think they'll have a chance that night.
And listen, Cincinnati is putting up
Cincinnati's probably going to give you a shootout.
Right.
You haven't been in one of those yet. How do you react to them? So
I'm telling you, this is
11-6 to me, but that's it, Fred. I don't see worse than 11-6. And I just have more faith that Buffalo has been here and done this before, and they'll find a way. They have a handful of difficult games still. I think they play the Eagles, right?
Who? Buffalo?
Buffalo. They have I think they have a handful of difficult games left.
They've got Miami.
They have Tampa.
They've got Tampa Bay after that. Then they have Houston.
Houston will be a tough game. That's a good
Pittsburgh.
defense. They should beat
Cincinnati.
Shootout.
Then us. Cleveland. Philadelphia. And the Jets.
Yeah, so they have a handful of difficult games. But I think that they have been in this situation before, and they sort of know how to handle it a little bit more. But that doesn't mean that it's a lock. And I think it could come down to just the one game. If the Patriots can hold serve at home and beat Buffalo, then Buffalo has to finish with a better record than you to win the division. Then that tiebreaker comes into play. The tiebreaker right now doesn't matter because they have to play again. But if the Patriots were to win twice, that takes the tiebreaker. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that game is going to ultimately decide things.
Okay, let's see. Let's go back to the phones. Kevin! Kevin's in San Francisco. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Hey.
Just a couple of comments. I'm not overly upset that they didn't make any moves and mortgage the future, as they say, but I do think that letting Keon White and Duggar go without knowing that you could make deals is a failure at the front office level. Look,
say that again, Kevin.
I think it's a failure at the front office that you let two pieces that are at least backups in case you have injury, and you don't have a means with which to replace them, especially on the defensive end front. I think that's a failure. So, anyway, but moving beyond that, look, the team's overachieving this year. I'm going to enjoy it and see what happens. But in reality, I think this team's going to be at best 9-8 next year because they've just got so many holes. So, look, I'm enjoying it, ride the wave, but I'm not so bullish on the front office as far as how they address this. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Yeah,
it's fair. I mean, I'm just not upset about it. Maybe I sound like I'm playing your side of the street, and I'm just like, I'm happy no matter what, but I just didn't see a lot of difference-making opportunities. I'm sure there was a depth piece or two that they could have added.
Well, what do you
but
think
how much better would those options have been than what you have in your system already?
Yeah, but what do you think about his assertion that it was a failure of the front office to not have replacements ready for Keon White and Kyle Duggar? I mean, don't you think they did?
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they took those guys' jobs away from them.
Right. Woodson was playing ahead of Duggar, right?
Yeah. I mean, Duggar. If Jalen Hawkins didn't get hurt, Duggar would have continued to play like less than 5 snaps a game.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have played. He had those 2 games where he played the whole game because he was so like you're just looking at it as another guy gets hurt. I mean, again, it's fair. His criticism is fair. I'm not beating up on that take, but they're missing a third safety. They're missing a third edge rusher. There's a lot of teams that are missing depth pieces.
Yeah. Let's see. Gavin writes in, why didn't they at least get a safety or linebacker to help manage the middle of the field, as this is clearly one huge weakness of the team? Is there anything they can do to limit this with any of the guys they have? I'm very fussy and stressed every game due to this challenge, in addition to no pass rush. Well, according to Evan, they do have a pass rush.
Yeah, I don't think they have a great pass rush. I will say that. And I understand, this is my problem with, the inundation with all these numbers.
I know.
You watch the game, and you do not see opposing quarterbacks being affected all that often by the Patriots. Do you?
No, I agree.
And I'm not fixated on the sack total. I'm just talking about how many times the quarterback is just forced to dump it off because he's under pressure. I don't see that happen a lot. I mean, I think that it's telling that their 2 best pass rushers per se are defensive tackles.
Yep.
They're the guys to me that win their battles more often than not. Chason has been active and he's been good. but they don't have elite pressure coming off the edge.
Sam in Easton writes in, I wrote in last week about the weather impacting May's passing ability. Having been at the game, I can tell you the wind was much more of a factor than those at home might think. From our bird's eye view in the upper 200s, it looked like some of those incomplete deep passes were taken by the wind. I think it's more of a topic of discussion than people are letting on. I'm concerned we might lose some of the elite deep passing element of May's game down the stretch, at least for the home games. With 5 to 7 mile per hour winds and 83-degree weather forecasted for Sunday's game in Tampa, I'm predicting a bounce-back deep ball passing performance by Drake. I'm willing to bet he has another subpar game by his standards on Thursday Night Football against the Jets in the swirling Foxborough night winds, 30-ish degree early forecast. Also, do we want to see Drake put on the long sleeves now? I know it's a mental thing for players, but I want to see him staying warm and unbothered like Brady always did.
Yeah, I don't know about how comfortable he is. Whatever he wants to do to be comfortable is fine. I did not see the inaccurate deep passes that he's talking about on Sunday. I saw him be skittish in the pocket in the second half after getting strip sacked. I didn't see his accuracy go. I saw his decision-making go. That's just me. I didn't see, and I saw him drop a beautiful pass 20 yards downfield to Demario Douglas. I saw him with an absolute dime to Stephon Diggs in the fourth quarter on a deep ball. So I didn't see this inaccuracy caused by the wind on Sunday. I think his arm is largely immune to the wind. I think he has that good of an arm.
Was it that windy? Was it
No, I'm sure he's right. He was probably in the stands. It was probably windier on the field than we knew sitting in the press box. That I totally get what he's saying. I just didn't see the ball affected by the wind. I didn't see it affecting Penix's throws either.
What about that extra point kick?
I don't think. I don't think that affected. It didn't look like
it was just a bad kick.
It was wide the whole way.
Oh, by the way, were you watching the game? I think it was the Cowboys game. I don't forget if
I didn't see any
field goal.
I didn't see any of the
They called
Cowboys
it
game.
good. Man, it looked like a bad field goal. You know, it was above the uprights, and they said that if that had hit the upright, it would have definitely gone out because it was 3/4 of the way to the outside of the upright.
What did the announcers say? Anything?
They kind of agreed. Like, oh, I thought that was not good. Yeah.
Yeah. Who made it?
Got me.
You don't even know which team?
I'm half in a fog. It was.
I didn't see any of the Monday night game this week. I was out.
Maybe a viewer can help me out. I'm trying to think now.
Aubrey?
I think it.
Is it Brandon Aubrey?
No, it wasn't Cowboys. I think it was.
No, it was our guy, Chad Ryland.
Yeah, it might have been Ryland.
Right?
Yeah,
He's the Cardinals kicker.
Russell in Florida from Arkansas. Is there a chance that Vrabel and Wolf viewed most of the players that were available for trade as possible targets in free agency in the offseason, potentially getting someone they want, plus keeping their picks? Does the defense run more? Okay, so that's one question. Like, we're not going to give it. We might get him in the offseason.
I don't rule anything out, but that doesn't really do anything for you.
Right.
You need him. If you need him now.
Yep. Does the defense run more man coverage and maybe have someone spying Mayfield? Did you guys see Pete Carroll fail the 2-point conversion last Sunday? Seems he ran the time. He's got 3 questions in here.
What was that? I did see the 2-point conversion got knocked down at the line. Yeah. I did see that.
I was listening, and
was that just like
that's a different
one standalone
different question? Yeah.
Yep. And Pete did have that dumbfounded look on his face that we know and love from the Super Bowl.
Seems he ran the same play from Super Bowl 49 and has not learned his lesson. So I don't know. Honestly, I was listening to it on the radio.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They kind of.
I love driving home after a 1:00 game because we get to listen to there's a red zone version.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
On
we're
Sirius
two
XM.
losers.
And what they do is when whoever's on offense, they go to that team's home broadcast. You think we're homers? You think Zolak's a homer? Oh my God!
I've said this in the past. I said this to Matt Smith. Because I've been at times I tease Scott to his face. I'm not speaking out of school, about that. And then I started doing this, and I was like, I owe you guys an apology. You guys are much more. There's 3 or 4 that are reasonably balanced. Some of the rest of them, it's all first names. It's all we. It's all the refs are killing us. It's like Fred on steroids doing the games. It's unbelievable.
Tommy Heinsohn.
I can't tell you how much the first name thing bugs me.
Yeah, you don't like that.
It's so unprofessional.
Yeah. Well, if you're the home team, I could see the home Vrabel calling Demario Douglas pop.
No, that's different, and it's also different if a guy has like sort of if he just says Caleb, okay, I know who you're talking about,
right?
Okay, but when it's Drew and Jim, like I don't know who you're talking about,
right.
And that's like they all just use first names, like they're all buddies. Do you know what I mean? That to me is what it is.
Oh yeah,
we're friends.
Yeah,
like no, you're the announcer. You're supposed to be professional.
Yeah,
and you're so right. Like some of those broadcasts are unbelievably
It's so funny.
bad.
It's so funny. Do you think Mayfield is good enough where you need to spy him? I don't look at wasting a resource on that.
No, not if it affects the defense in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's going to scramble around and he's going to look to break tackles. Like it's not about
when he's pressured.
He's not athletic. He's not fast.
No.
He's just a gamer.
Right. I agree. So I don't think you need to spy Baker Mayfield. You need to keep him in the
tackle
pocket.
him.
Yeah.
You need to match his toughness because he's not going to, if he needs to get a first down, that's important. He's going to try to put his shoulder down and knock you over.
Yep. Mike writes in, I feel better about the Patriots D on rewatch. They gave up 23 points, but 7 were a gimme turnover.
Absolutely.
There was a real TD drive and then the 85-yarder that worries Paul. I rewatched this drive, and besides 2 fourth-down conversions and a bad penalty, the Patriots also had 4 passes defended that could have been interceptions. Now they have to make the play. But the stats say Atlanta was wildly lucky to get a touchdown.
I would disagree with the lucky part, but I do think, you forced a couple of fourth downs. You were close.
Oh!
Look who's back from the locker room. What was the mood? Were the players friendly? Too bad none of them looked like Derrick Henry. Hey, Mike, what was it like in the locker room? Hey, Mike, what was it like in the locker room?
We had another submission for Mike. You want to play that, Matt Morrell?
Do so. He's in the building. Do so. He's going to catch that ball. Do so. He's in the building. Ow! It's Dukes. Oh!
I feel like I need to do like a kick on.
We thought that one we might play when you go into the locker room.
Right, that's for the locker room, and all the team just starts clapping and like, thank God, here he is.
You think we can get buy-in from the team?
I think so.
Braves to have that play?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Diggs, everybody be like, we got to get this guy a song when he comes in
By
here.
the way, that last one was made by my brother-in-law, Billy.
Oh,
so,
nice. All right. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that. Like the heavy metal little twist there. But, so back from the locker room, I thought the theme from today is the season is just starting now. We heard a few different players say that.
We heard Vrabel say that.
Yeah, and so they're kind of glomming onto that. I think that was kind of the message to the team today. But a lot of respect for Mayfield and Tampa, and Milton Williams talking a little bit about coming from Philadelphia. He's played down there a couple times and just said, you got to go down there. You want to win, you got to beat them. They're not going to give you a game down there. That was an interesting point. But otherwise, it's just I don't know. I didn't love all the questions today. Like one of the questions was like 7-2. Do you ever like to Milton 7-2? Do you ever think you'd be this good when you signed here? I'm like, they're good, guy. It's week 10. Like, what are you talking about?
I think if you asked all these people individually to go down the schedule in the first 9 games, maybe they would have said at worst 5-4.
Right.
Like they beat Buffalo.
Yeah,
I get it. That was an upset.
Yeah.
There were no other upsets.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of them I was just scratching my head a little bit, but. Heard from Steph Diggs, of course, as always, which is just he's always ready to go. We walk into the locker room and Steph's just ready. Even the players, around him would clear out a little bit. But Will Campbell was as well. They asked a little bit about appearing at the Celtics game. He said it was the first NBA game he's ever been to. So
Really?
Not a bad way to take it in. And they're like, "Oh, what did you think when everyone was cheering for you?" He's like, "Yeah, they were cheering for him." Pointing over at Drake. So Will's funny. Paul, one question though, I think you would have absolutely loved. It was, just what made you want to make that tackle?
What made you want to make the tackle?
And he's like,
because I play for an NFL team, and that's my job.
I'm a professional football player. The guy with the ball needs to be on the ground so the play stops.
Right.
Like, do you understand what I'm saying? How we lose our minds over these things?
I think we lost our mind on that one. But he kind of
terrific.
I thought it was a great play.
Yeah. Terrific play.
The motivation. That's my job.
He didn't Again, I know I make light of the whole Benjamin Watson thing. He didn't traverse 80 yards. It was at the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
He was like 3 yards behind him when the guy picked up the ball, and he got him at the 5 or 6, whatever it was. Terrific play by Will Campbell. What else is he supposed to do?
Just watch.
Like, you could say he missed the tackle, maybe be better next time. But who's not chasing him?
I know. Do your job. Do your job right. He's got a pretty good sense of humor about it, though. But he did say he played some defense when he was in high school, and we're like, oh, like what position you play? He's like, we're not going to talk about that. So I don't know. It's funny, but it seems like he's an offensive lineman through and through. And then we hear from Christian.
I really like him.
Christian,
personally.
He just has like that little. It's on a corner, but it's kind of like near a space, so he just kind of pops his elbow up against the thing and listens. To all the questions.
I like his demeanor.
Very relaxed. Doesn't say more than he needs to. Measured with the way he speaks. He's done a great job in the locker room, and Christian Gonzalez as well spoke, and some nice words for Abuka, and. He's always kind of.
Did you get the impression that he's expecting to see a lot of him?
Didn't get that impression necessarily, but I was kind of around the corner and I was kind of doing like one of these because you know how the scrums are. You got to have to squeeze in there. So
I think you should get more respect than that, but that's just me.
Yeah,
you got 2 songs.
Yeah, no, but it's an active day. I'd say Jory Epstein from Yahoo Sports, national Yahoo Sports writer, was here. So he always asks me if there's more
What's
of
that name?
Jory Epstein. Yeah, she's been
I've
around a
never
little
heard
bit.
that name in my life.
I don't know, yeah, she's covers the NFL. She's one of the national folks. So he always asks me if people are, sizable media contingent today. Definitely some new cameramen as well. But you see some of the national guys making a stop here. Yeah.
Ion Evan.
I struggled to see Evan today. This is another part of it too. I was buried in the Steph. He was stealth today, but I was buried in the Steph Diggs press conference, and someone farted.
Oh no!
And so it was like all of a sudden,
that's just poor to me.
Ho. Let's wrap it up, Steph. But some of these when these scrums get going, and it feels like you're reaching that all right, it's starting to wrap up, and then. Steph, sorry coming in late, but what do you think of the Bucs this week? And it's like, bro,
apologize if you've been asked this.
We've been, you can't come in and ask like a super general question, but sometimes they tend to drag on, and everyone's like, okay, thank you. So good day, busy day. It seems like it's gonna be short practice today. I know we're doing our interview with Mac Hollins a little early, so getting out there, see some guys dressing up, getting ready for some of the little bit of cold weather there. So good day.
Let me see what the temp is right now.
What do you got?
55.
I mean, not Travion Henderson. I was walking right in back of Travion Henderson. He had just a shell on, no shirt underneath. He seems like cold doesn't bother him at all.
It's not that
I saw
cold
Barmore
today.
with the full face mask thing, but that's kind of Barmore.
It's not that cold today.
No, it's really windy out though.
Oh, it's
Yes,
windy.
the wind is
so
supposed
maybe
to
there's
pick
a
up, too.
north wind coming down to make it cooler tonight.
The autumn wind is a raider.
I actually just got a text from my electric company.
Oh.
And it says
we
are prepared for damaging wind gusts expected Wednesday into Thursday.
Supposed to be up to 50, 60 miles an hour today.
Northeaster?
Yeah, 55 to 66 is what they're saying, miles per hour.
I think it's just bringing in cold weather.
Yeah,
what
all
it's
right.
doing.
Well, tis the season.
Yeah, I had
Paul. Sorry, Paul.
I had it. Yeah.
No one's more miserable than Paul.
Thoughts and prayers to Paul. He had to put his heat on Monday. It was
November
50
4th, though, Paul. I
got home from work Monday. It was 55 in my house. I was like, yeah, I think it's time.
Maybe we need to put it up a little
That's
bit.
in a
Take
onesie
the
wrapped
edge
in a
off.
blanket.
Beth wasn't home. She was
Can
working.
we please just put it on, Paul?
She was working, and I texted her pretty much the same thing I texted you. And she was like, okay.
That's pretty proud. You should be pretty proud of yourself. You make it to November 4th without heat around here. That's pretty impressive.
All right. Well, listen. Busy day in the locker room. Teams off to practice. We'll be getting a practice report today.
And Vrabel said no Stevenson, Ellis, and Booty for practice today. We never really got to recap Mike's press conference, but he did mention that those 3 guys would not be practicing today. So I would say then you need to be prepared that those 3 guys will not be available on Sunday.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's interesting, the message that you mentioned, this is the start of the season. Interesting message because he brought up grind. Try to get the guy's mindset okay, fresh start instead of this is a continuation of 9 games. We're starting now. Kind of, I know it's mental tricks. It doesn't really affect your body, but mentally, if you take on that mindset, maybe you have you feel a little refreshed.
Yeah.
Maybe I know the bye is a long way away.
It breaks up kind of nice though because you've got 8 games left. You got 4 and 4. You got the bye in the middle, so you break it up into chunks. Obviously, the next 8 days is going to be a grind for them. 2 games in the next 8 days, but
it is.
and then you got to travel.
Imagine if Bill was here during this stretch.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be. We got.
Yeah, for every long
late
week.
bye.
For every long week, there's a short
I miss
week.
that. For every long week, there's a short week.
But I do
Oh,
think
no.
Vrabel's playing a little of that with the
nobody.
team
Yeah,
right now.
they're all up against us.
This is
Us
disrespectful.
against the world.
Disrespectful that we got such a late bye.
Well,
and
listen,
it is.
they're coming.
disrespect-
He also mentioned they're coming on. They've had a couple days off. He mentioned the Tampa. Like
Bad lines. They
Oh,
don't want to
I-
trade with us. We all we got. We all we need. Just remember that, Patriots fans. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.